Hello and welcome to the Sports Corner Bundesliga Watchalong for match week 32 of the Bundesliga. The climax of the Bundesliga is so close now, and today we can see Bundesliga champions be crowned in Bayern Munich, and we can see our beloved Paderborn exit the Bundesliga after a one-year stint. I am joined by Kieran Dillon.
Hi.
Hi. I swear to God, it's like the Hunger Games. We're just killing people off week by week.
And now we're getting smaller and smaller, aren't we?
Literally, it's not. We're supposed to be expanding, and it's only two of us tonight. But that's because really, there is another game which we will get onto. But the two important games, I will be watching Paderborn, as they can be relegated from the Bundesliga with anything but a win. They have to win, and they have to rely on your game, Kieran Dillon. And what game will you be watching?
Werder Bremen and Bayern Munich, where Bayern Munich can be crowned 30 times champions of the Bundesliga.
Jesus, and it will be their 8th or 9th in a row, I believe, as well. But
insane.
I know. The dominance. This year, we thought we had it with the 5 teams looking like they could possibly mount a comeback with, when it returned from coronavirus break. But no, none of it ever happened, and Bayern ran away with it. But the game that we're currently watching, because we thought it would have finished, but it's still going at the moment with 3 minutes to go. It's Mönchengladbach versus Wolfsburg. Gladbach are now in 4th place after their loss to Bayern Munich last week. What have you thought of their performance as Wolfsburg? Still in Europa League. It won't really matter too much to them, but they looked a shell of themselves tonight. What do you think, Kieran?
I think Gladbach have been very, very impressive tonight. Without their best 2 players, Fleer and Thuram, obviously, that long-term injury is probably not going to play the rest of the season. I think that Jonas Hoffmann, by the way, there's 2 goals. Very good finishes. Very similar finishes for both goals. I think for Gladbach, it's a massive performance because Wolfsburg are a tricky team. We've already seen them slip up teams like Augsburg and Leverkusen away from home this season. They are tough to play against because obviously they're good at set pieces. They've got a lot of height and aerial threat in Weghorst, John Brooks, Pongrasic, who've also got a few goals this season. Maybe not John Brooks. But they're hard to play against. But Wolfsburg, in my opinion, are similar to Frankfurt, where they're just the epitome of inconsistency. They'll play really well one week, and then the next week they'll be god-awful.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. I think this is a performance that Gladbach definitely needed. As Leverkusen, I wouldn't say they slipped up, but they failed to capitalise on Gladbach's loss at the weekend because they lost to Bayern Munich. Obviously, a very tough game. Could have easily won the game, I think, or even picked up a point. They just couldn't manage it in the end. And Schalke picked up a surprise draw, I'd say, against Leverkusen when they appeared to be going downwards in their trajectory. But as we say, Wolfsburg have been dispatched 3-0, 2 goals by Jonas Hoffmann, and 1 by the experienced Lars Stindl. And this is what they needed because with lots of players and lots of injuries, they needed their big players and more experienced veterans to step up without Fleer and Thuram. But we'll move to the fixtures that are still yet to be played at 7:30. The first game is the one we're not covering, not due to any favouritism at all. It's just nothing really can happen in those games that massively affects it. Obviously, Freiburg, and I think Hertha is still in with a shout because 7th can still get it. But with their defeat on the weekend, I think it's very, very unlikely. Freiburg versus Hertha Berlin. What do you think on that one, Kieran?
I think Hertha Berlin got a real shell shock at the weekend when they were beat by Frankfurt comfortably at home. They're going to be without Boyata, which they struggled when he wasn't there against Frankfurt at the weekend. It's a tricky one for Berlin because Freiburg, they've had a few decent performances. They beat Gladbach, was it the other week, 1-0. They give Leverkusen a good game the other week. They're a difficult team to play against. And for a team like Hertha Berlin, that obviously it's a project and they're probably aiming for Europe next season. If they could get it ahead of schedule this season, we know like Bayern Munich win the German Cup, the Europa League spots drop down an extra space. So you're looking for Hertha Berlin. I know they're a few points off, but they could still get it, and it'd be massive for them if they could.
Yeah, now Leverkusen and Bayern are the final of the German Cup, which I think is next. Is it next week or is it this Wednesday? Not quite sure.
It's the Italian Cup this Wednesday. I don't think it's the German one.
That's why then. But yeah, so now them two are playing in the final. There is an extra spot available. And I tell you, I don't think Freiburg are getting enough credit because I tell you what, since they've come back, they may not have blew anyone away with the performances, but they've been slowly but surely picking up points, and they've stayed around that area, and they've not lost touch with the likes of Wolfsburg. And as Hertha have been climbing the table, they've always been that mainstay. And they picked up, obviously, a draw this weekend against Wolfsburg, which was a crucial point for them, even though Wolfsburg had about a bajillion disallowed goals. So, but Freiburg they are a tough team to face, and they're kind of really, really like stable, I'd say, would be more word to describe them. But we won't be watching that one, sadly. I'm looking at the team news now, and Ibisevic, Piatek, and Luka Bacchio start up top. Sadly, they are still without Mateus Cunha. He is on the bench for Hertha Berlin. But I will go through the lineup. We've got Jarstein, Pekarik, Stark, Turinariga, and Plattenhardt at the back five. Derrida, Guric, Meyer, and Luka Bacchio playing a diamond with Luka Bacchio at cam. I'm not sure if he may drift wider. And Ibisevic and Piatek up top. And for Freiburg, the goalkeeper is Schwallow. The back four is Schmid, Lienhardt, Heinz, and Gunter. The midfield four is Salai, Koch, Hoffler, and Grifo. And up front, Waldschmidt and Holler, who Holler scoring on the weekend. We will then move to... Can we talk about the beloved Paderborn first, and we'll get to Bayern last? Is that all right, Kieran?
I think we need to do the most important first, so of course Paderborn can go first.
Yes, get in there. It is a game against, if you'd have put this on paper at the beginning of the season, you'd say both of these could have been, like, look at the start of the season, on paper, to go down, because they were arguably the two weakest sides. But Union Berlin have exceeded expectations and managed to pick up points along the way. And after the restart, it took them a while to get going. They were on rubbish form, but a draw against Schalke and a win on the weekend against Cologne, which I've got to admit I didn't see coming, a 2-0 victory. But Paderborn have to win to ensure safety. Thank you, Rowan. That's my boy right there. Let's go. They start today, and as we say, they're 8 points off the relegation playoffs with only 9 available. So it's very tight. They have to win, and the lineup they've gone with is Leopold Zingeli in net, a back four of Holtmann, who's naturally a winger at right back, so I'm not sure if they may adopt a 3, but Hunemeyer and Strodiek as the back two, should I say? Jamilu Collins at left back, or in front of him, the man that's been the outball, Antwi Ajay at left mid, Gijasula and Vasiliadis in midfield, Ritter at right midfield, and a front two of Strelimamba and Ben Zielinski. Sven Mitchell dropped after the weekend. And for Union Berlin, Gikiewicz, the Pole, in net. Trimmel, Friedrich, Schlotterbeck, and Reichel as a back four. Prumel just in front of that defence. The midfield four in front of the CDM. Ingvartsen, Ondrich, Gentner, and Buelta, with that man Sebastian Andersson, who's been their main source of goals, up front. What do you think about this game, Kieran Dillon?
I mean, Paderborn have got to go for it. They have to win. They literally, if they don't get a win, they are down. So I hope it's a good game. But from the sounds of it, Paderborn last few weeks, you've obviously watched them since we've come back a few times. They are quite entertaining to watch because they put a lot of balls into the box. They just don't have that out-and-out goal scorer, do they? Which is probably why Union Berlin are a few points ahead of them, because they've got that out-and-out goal scorer that will get them 10 plus a season.
Yeah, I think their top goal scorer might be Strelimamba. I think it might be 5. I think the goals have been interspersed and very rare for Paderborn. But they do need to win, and if you want to face a team, they've got Gladbach on the weekend, so then the likelihood of them picking up points there is unlikely. So if they've got a chance to try and pick up 3, it'd be nice for them to do it tonight. And then finally, we will move to the team that can win the title and also keep Paderborn up if they win. Do you want to talk through the Bayern Munich lineup, or have you not got it in front of you? Because I can.
I've got both lineups in front of me. We'll start off with Werder Bremen. Obviously, they need to win to try and secure any chance of getting out of that relegation place. They started off well, didn't they, after the coronavirus break, obviously after the first game where they got destroyed by Leverkusen, but they got a few good results, a few 1-0 wins here and there, good draw with Mönchengladbach, and then at the weekend they absolutely demolished Paderborn, which was unfortunate for Kieran, who watched the game.
Yeah, the sadness was beginning to show.
As for Werder Bremen, they've gone for a 3-4-3 formation. Pavlenka in net. Kevin Vogt actually deployed as a centre-half this time, so they've got Velkovic, Vogt and Moisander, with Friedel and Gary Slassie as wing-backs, Eggestein and Klassen as the 2 centre-mids, Rashika on the left, Bittencourt on the right, and Osako through the middle. Interestingly, both Josh Sargent and David Selke are on the bench, as well as Nicholas Fulkrug and Claudio Pizarro against his former team.
Oh, he's finally made the bench. Get in there, Claudio.
And then for Bayern Munich, they're pretty much the old guards come back in. Boateng's back in, Muller's back in, Lewandowski's back in. So they've gone for a 4-2-3-1, their normal formation that they play. Neuer, Pavard, Boateng, David Alaba, and Alphonso Davies. Goretzka and Kimmich is a double. Koeman and Gnabry on the wings. Muller in behind Lewandowski.
Do you think Werder Bremen have any chance? Obviously, the 5-1 at the weekend, I do believe, will be a massive confidence boost for them. Yes, it was against Paderborn, but because Mainz slipped up on the weekend again, they lost. I think it was 1-0.
Yeah, they were really unlucky though. Like they play good football, Mainz, but they just don't put it back at net, do they? No,
they don't. And Robin Quaison hasn't quite picked up where he left off, I don't think, really, since we've come back. Mateta had a few good chances, but again, he has to be more clinical if he's going to, lead the line for Mainz. So what do you think for Werder? Because as much as if they don't win, it's not all over for them as it is for Paderborn, they are now within touching distance of both the relegation playoff and even leaping above Mainz to safety in the coming weeks and not having to go through the torment of a playoff. What do you think their chances are against this Bayern side?
I think they've got a free hit tonight, seeing as Mainz have to play Borussia Dortmund tomorrow. Actually have to go to Dortmund. I think tonight is going to be quite routine for Bayern Munich. They'll just want to get it over and done with. They crown the champions, and then Werder Bremen will just. I think they just need to take the free hit, because I don't think there's any chance that Werder Bremen can outdo Bayern Munich, especially now they've got Muller and Lewandowski back. Like they had a little slip at the weekend, didn't they, Bayern, when they only won 2-1. But I think the old guard's back, the experience is back, and I think they'll comfortably beat Werder Bremen.
I mean, the fact you've just said a slip up in a 2-1 win.
But that's the thing. That's all we can say about Bayern Munich, because since after Christmas, literally, they've been arguably one of the most on-form teams in the world.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, this is the leagues that's only just come back, kind of. This has been coming back for a few weeks, should I say, whereas the other leagues are slowly coming back now. But you are right. There is no more on-form team than Bayern Munich. They've kind of took everything in their stride since returning. We talked about like possible rust with some players. No, not from this Bayern Munich side. So I agree with you. I don't actually think it'll be, like a 5-0 sort of thrashing. I don't think I can see that, because
Werder Bremen, they're quite good defensively, aren't they? They don't concede a lot.
They just don't score. That's the problem. Since they brought in David Selke, I think we've mentioned this on the podcast before, but brought in David Selke. He hasn't done much, sadly. They've got Josh Sargent. He's too young to be leading the line every week for them. He's not prolific enough. He's not. We look at the likes of Marcus Rashford, who's proven enough to lead the line every week. I don't think Josh Sargent quite has yet, sadly.
No.
And Marco, who just works really hard.
I think the thing about Werder Bremen is you look at their strikers. They've got 5 strikers in their 18-man squad tonight. That might be a 22-man squad. I think you can have 10 substitutes. They've got 5 strikers in their 22-man team tonight, and none of them you'd say are out-and-out goal scorers that will bag you 15 goals a season, which is probably the reason that they're not going to stay up this season. Or if they do stay up, that's one of the reasons why they'll just stay up, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, no, it's understandable. I mean, Pizarro 20 years ago would have got you 15 a season. Not Pizarro at 40-odd years of age, whatever he is now. He's not going to... You can't wheel him out week in, week out, expecting him to score goals. He may be... To be fair, he's got the experience, so now they're in this difficult dogfight. His experience might be valuable in the team morale and kind of spurring everyone on him around him. But as you said, it's strange, because I don't know about you, I look at Mainz and Werder Bremen, and I just think they're too good to go down, but one of them has to. Or be in a playoff, I should say.
Yeah. I like both teams. That's the thing. I don't want either of them to go down, because I like Mainz. They play good football, and Werder Bremen they just got too good of a team to go down. That's the thing.
That's I think Raphael Honigstein of the Athletic, which by the way the link should be somewhere in the description.
It is in the description.
has previously mentioned that no team's ever too good to go down in the Bundesliga. And it's right. It is right. Because, Werder Bremen have been a mainstay so long in the Bundesliga. And they've been quite solid for a while, mid-table. You just don't associate them possibly going down. And as we've said with Mainz, we can name the standout players. I think we were talking the other day, Niakate at the back. He's a good player. You've got, as much as we joke, Ridley Bakker in midfield is a good player. Kaison, Mateta, they're all good players, but it's not clicking for them. So we'll see how Werder Bremen can do against Bayern Munich. Kickoff should be underway.
Yeah, we've literally just kicked off as you speak. I've got the Bundesliga actual website up to keep you up to date with the Freiburg Hertha Berlin game, and I'm sure Kieran will be giving his insight throughout.
What on Freiburg?
On Hertha Berlin, because I know you like your Hertha Berlin.
I do like my Hertha Berlin, but my favourite player, Matthias Cunha, is not on the bloody pitch yet. But was it a concussion that kept him out? Because didn't you watch the game where he got took off because of injury?
No, I think that was Rowan.
Oh, well, Rowan
I think
watched
it. Rowan.
I don't know if it was concussion or not, but it seems like he's been out for a very long time. So maybe they're just slowly bringing him back in. But we will be kicking off around the grounds for the 7:30 kickoffs.
So we forgot to say, Gladbach actually did see out that game 3-0. Yeah. They won 3-0. They're now up into 4th place, I think they are. Yeah. They're up into 4th place. They've leapfrogged Leverkusen, who play tomorrow. And Leverkusen tomorrow play FC Cologne at home.
And Cologne, obviously, a poor performance this week against Union Berlin. And Union Berlin managed to eat that game 2-0. There are some games on tomorrow. I think Dortmund play tomorrow. So
yeah, I'll just run through the games tomorrow. We've got Frankfurt and Schalke at 5:30, and then all the other games are at R7. They've got Leverkusen, Cologne, Dortmund, Mainz, Augsburg, Hoffenheim, and Leipzig, and Dusseldorf. We've just had our first shot of the game. It was a volley from Lewandowski that's going to go out for a corner. Bayern Munich are looking sharp already.
I've got a corner here for Paderborn. A nice little counter-attacking goal. Oh, it's a throw-in. Must have gone out for a throw-in. But obviously, Bayern can claim the title tonight. But if by any chance they don't, Dortmund can pick up some points tomorrow and close that gap. But they have been confirmed in the top 4 now. And I'm pretty sure Leipzig, with a win tomorrow against Fortuna, can secure their spot in next season's Champions League. Fortuna, obviously, another team that's round that bottom 3 and looking to put pressure on Mainz tomorrow. But it's a slow start in this game between Union and Paderborn.
Well, the thing about Dusseldorf is if they pick up a point, if they win against Leipzig, that Paderborn are down. If the Dusseldorf pick up more than 1 point, you're thinking Paderborn are down, unfortunately.
Yeah, but basically what Paderborn need is Werder and Fortuna to do the clean sweep of no wins, and them to do a clean sweep of 3 wins.
Yeah, and you think, I don't know who Paderborn, I think Paderborn have got to play. Is it Gladbach at the weekend at home? And Gladbach obviously just come off a massive 3-0 win. So it's going to be difficult for them.
Yeah, it's one of them where it'll be a different game though on the weekend with Gladbach if they do still have a fighting chance this weekend. Because obviously when teams are fighting for their lives. But with the games tomorrow, obviously the Premier League returns tomorrow. That is not the watch-along today, but are you excited for the Prem returning, Kieran?
Oh, I'm so excited. And it's obviously different for me and you because your team's not in the Premier League, but for me the Premier League's the best.
Yeah.
Because my team's in it, and I just love watching English football. To be fair, but
fair enough.
Are you looking forward to the Championship coming back?
No. No, I am obviously. I'm excited to have it back. I'm excited because every game's available to us now, apart from the fact it's £10 per game, which is a bloody robbery. But every game's available, so I'll get to watch us lose 9 times. It's only going to cost me £9, a bargain.
Just seeing Bayern's first real clear-cut chance. It was Alphonso Davies who's put it into the box, and Moisander's just nicked it off the feet of Gnabry, who had an easy tap in. Alphonso Davies was offside when he crossed it, though, so it would definitely be ruled out. Oh, actually, I wanted to ask you about that. You know the Gladbach first goal? What did you think?
Yes. Go on, about what?
The handball. Yeah, that's handball, isn't it?
well, it's one of them where, not in my opinion, in terms of like basically, it wasn't him moving his hand towards it, but they set a precedent of every time your hand hits, if it goes in, it's cancelled. You can't have it. So I don't think it was handball because his arm couldn't really move because it was by his side. But do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like the way they've set out is if it hits your hand and then leads to a goal, it's cancelled because it hit your hand. But do you think it was more like an actual handball because he moved it, or because I know it was by his side? So
I just thought it was infringement. Like it's handball because it's infringement. It's stopping the ball going to. I think it was whoever Weghorst in front of him.
Like obviously the whole pattern of play would have been different because he probably would have kept the ball.
Yeah, like they say, like as soon as the ball hits someone, it's a different phase of play. It's a different phase of play, stopping that current phase of play, really.
I do know what you mean. I mean, but then again, is it worse than Trent's against Man City, which obviously got let go as well? So
that was awful.
I know. So it's one of them. It still needs to be the rules need to still be streamlined for us to not be having this conversation because after that game, it should be everything was. No controversial decisions because that's what VAR is there for. But I don't think it would have changed. Oh, go on. Yeah,
I've always got something to talk about
with VAR. Yeah, but I don't think it would have changed the outcome of the game. I think but I do know what you mean. It was a point for contention, definitely.
Yeah.
But Jonas Hoffmann did pick up another goal, which was a very lovely finish. What do you think of Gladbach's chances of Champions League then? Because obviously Leverkusen don't play till tomorrow. Gladbach played thingy. I was saying to Josh, it's a bit of a shame that one of them's got to miss out of Gladbach and Leverkusen.
It's true though, but I think either of them could win the Europa League, and that'd be good for them. It's going to be really interesting because they're both really good teams and they're entertaining to watch. I think Gladbach's team is better than Leverkusen's team.
Wow, that's a big statement. I like Gladbach because they were talking about it on the broadcast. Like they've not got massive investment. They build everybody. Like all the players they've got, they've not come from massive money spent. Like Ben Sabine, I know they bought him from Stade Rennais, but it wasn't exactly a big money move. Plia moved from Nice. It wasn't exactly it wasn't a massive. We've signed a striker, but they kind of build their own talent. So I do like Gladbach, and I agree with you. Gladbach will be disappointed because they abandoned every other competition for the Bundesliga because obviously they didn't get out of the Europa League group, which I'd say was bad for them because they were in a group with Trabzonspor, and I can't remember who else, but Besiktas here it might have been. So they've abandoned it, but it'll be nice to see who out of them two will get it. I'm intrigued by your statement that it's better than Leverkusen's team. Would you? Ooh.
I think that for all around play and all around the team, I think that Mönchengladbach have got a better side than Leverkusen. I think you look I'll just run through the team. You got goalkeeper Jan Sommer, who's arguably been the best goalkeeper in the league this season, maybe by Manuel Neuer.
But Hradecki's not a bad goalkeeper.
No, he's not. I'm saying I think that Mönchengladbach have a better side than. Or just 1 second. It's dropped to Eggestein, edge of area. It's bitten caught. He's whipped one back stick. It's Gebri Selassie. He's the side netting.
Oh,
first massive chance for Werder Bremen there. Good football in edge of area. But yeah, that's what I was saying. I think that Mönchengladbach, player for player, no pun intended, have a better side. I
mean, I understand what you mean because the thing is, I think Leverkusen have more standout players. I'd probably agree with. I'd say that. Obviously, Kai Havertz is the star.
Yeah,
that's
the thing. I think if you take Kai Havertz out of Leverkusen, they are nowhere near as good as they are now.
No, that is a fair point. But I mean, Gladbach today showed how good they are without Thuram and Plia. But we just had a chance here for Union Berlin. It was nice passing football. Oh, we might have a chance here. It's wide on the right. It's whipped in with the left foot. No, it's just nice strike. Sorry, I went silent there. It's because the defender at right back today, Holtman, cleared it with his head to the end, and Andrich, who scored against Schalke just 2 match days ago, went for the ambitious volley from the edge of the box, but it sailed over. So 10 minutes in, are you seeing anything from both sides? I know you saw Gebrselassie get a nice attempt. You had Lewandowski earlier, but anything else?
They're trying to play it down this right-hand side to Gebrselassie, and if he was up against any other left-back in the world, he'd be flying past him, but not Alphonso Davies, unfortunately.
No.
Bayern Munich a bit best side so far. They're controlling possession, as you would think. Werder Bremen have had a few off the ball chances. They've just really that chance from Gebrselassie is all they've had really. They've moved it around well. They're defending well, as you would have thought. But like we said before the game, I can't see many goals in this one.
No, there's an injury concern here for Paderborn. It was off the ball. I don't know if it's a pulled muscle or his muscle tightening. He is one of the elder statesmen of the Paderborn team. He is the captain. It's the centre-back, Strodiek. The ball still, I think, recovering from, the volley earlier from Andrich, which I spoke about. Before the goal kick's been taken, Strodiek was lying on the floor. It appears to be the hamstring, which is gone, and he was receiving treatment, and he's now walked off the pitch. I don't know if he'll be returning. He's gone to speak to the manager, so it'd be a lot. No, he's not returning. I can see him shaking his head. So they've lost the captain of Paderborn, so a difficult task has got even harder for Paderborn in this one.
That is a massive blow for Paderborn, obviously, that leadership quality that he'll possess. They've now lost.
He is one of them. He's 30-plus years old. I think
there's
now.
A chance for Coleman here. He's dragged it wide. First real attempt for Kingsley Coleman in this game. Who I've given a lot of praise to since we've come back. I like him, but I'm just looking at the average positions, the BT graphics pull up. The average position for every single Werder Bremen player is behind their halfway line. And pretty much the majority of the Bayern Munich players are over the halfway line.
Well, it's one of them. They pick up a point today, and even though it's, they're a point closer, and it's probably a point they didn't expect to pick up because it's Bayern Munich. So maybe they are going with that. Let's sit 10 behind the ball and try and get a counter. Maybe unleash the pace of Milot Rashica. Could possibly be the plan.
Indeed.
Strodiek is back on, and he is sprinting. He doesn't look the same player. Good save by Zingeli. It's a double save by Zingeli. It was a ball unleashed down the left-hand side, and Strodiek, he just can't keep up. One, because he's old, and two, because he's got a bloody sore hamstring. And it's poked in by Prommel with the right foot. And it's a left-footed strike, which Zingeli parries back into the path of it's Prommel with the shot, should I say. And it prodded it back into the path of Prommel, who strikes again. But this time it is saved again. And Strodiek's back down on the pitch. He is injured.
And we might have a chance here. Bittencourt's chasing it down left-hand side. He's actually got past Alphonso Davies. Lovely skill from Bittencourt. He's into the box. He's shot. It's into Neuer's hands. They didn't get quite the whip on it that we've seen in the past few weeks from him. But he's looking dangerous as Bittencourt, as he always does. And he skimmed Alphonso Davies there with a lovely piece of skill.
Obviously, Bittencourt's been dropped the last couple of weeks because he had that injury. Do you think... Well, they managed to win without him, obviously, one of the times. But do you think he's needed today to be that creative force? Yeah,
like we've already spoke about the Werder Bremen's attacking threat, and they've not really got one. I mean, the games that they've won have been because of pieces of magic from him, really. Like that smart finish against Freiburg a few weeks ago. The goal against, who was it that I watched a few weeks ago when it was 1-0. Whoever it was, he scored a lovely goal against them. And those points that he's picking up from are massive. And his experience, even though he's not the oldest player, will be good for them. Yeah,
he is. He does seem to be the difference maker. I think you need that when you're trying to save up. If you can rely on a man, we talk about Sebastian Andersson and Rowan Hennings, and you can rely on these people to get you out of the mud. Strodiek has been removed now, and it's been replaced by Drager, and the captain's armband has been passed to Hunemeyer. I tell you what, I thought they were going to keep him on because he started wrapping his leg and looked like he was being mummified on his hamstring, but he is strolling off now. So big loss for Paderborn. He tried his best to stay on as a good captain would, but he has been removed. Any update from the Freiburg game, or is that still 0-0?
I've been checking on the Bundesliga official website, and there's nothing come up on the live tab where they're updated with yellow cards and chances and that. But I'm looking at the stats. Apparently, Freiburg have had 1 shot on target and off target, and Hertha Berlin have had 3 shots off target. It looks quite even in that game in terms of possession as well. So nothing to report as of yet.
No, I'm just having a look at if there's any comments. But Hertha Berlin with 54% possession and Freiburg with 46% on the commentary. And I went and checked the highlights tab. The referee starts the match. So it seems to be in with Freiburg Hertha, as it has been here. But as we say, there is a lot on the line tonight with possible. It's really our first bit of we'd have a certified result in the Bundesliga for the first time, because we've all kind of been saying the title is done, but now it can actually be done. And we said that Paderborn will go down, but now they actually can go down. So it's been a while.
I think we all knew as soon as we saw Bayern Munich come back, and as soon as we saw them absolutely demolish who was it that beat Dusseldorf. I think we kind of accepted it after the Dortmund game, didn't we? Really, but for me, the real nail in the coffin was that Dusseldorf game when they were just absolutely incredible. They do deserve to win, and
they do.
Well, there's a chance here for Friedel on left hand side. What the hell is that? He's crossed it. He's volleyed it on the cross. It's gone behind for a goal kick.
No, it's fair to say, but not the best.
Another player for Werder Bremen that's really key is Milot Rashica. He's just a nice little lovely back heel there to set Friedel up, who just absolutely plays that out for a goal kick. But he's another one that they need as well. He's not really performed to his absolute best since the break. But did he score at the weekend?
No, he didn't.
He didn't score at the weekend.
David Klaassen got 2 though, you know.
Big David Klaassen got a brace.
He did. He got a Bob brace to David Klaassen. But to be fair, I remember we came back and Josh was critical of Mr. David Klaassen because he's obviously had some rough times, but he is so important to Werder Bremen. Like he's not the same player that we saw when he was in England. He actually he carries that team, I would say, from that midfield position, and a lot of the good stuff about Werder Bremen goes through David Klaassen, I would say.
I think it was because he's not. I would say he's not a number 10. He's more of a number 8, where he can sit a number 8 or number 6, where he can sit in that role and he can dictate the play from there. Whereas that season where he signed for Everton, he had about 5 number 10s, so he didn't really have enough time to gel into England properly. I always thought he was a good player. To be fair, there was always something there.
He is, but then you've got to think of Everton that summer as well. They signed Sandro, who was crap. So
signed Rooney, Sigurdsson, a lot of the same player.
Yeah, they didn't really spend the money wisely, and I think it's one of them where, do you know, when you signed Depay, and it's always a risk signing from the Eredivisie, but he has got a place as a good footballer, and I think he has found his home at Werder Bremen, definitely.
Yeah.
For the foreseeable, anyway, should I say.
Well, there's a chance here. It's Eggestein who's hit it, and it's just wide, I tell you. Werder Bremen have really come into it these last 5 minutes or so. Bayern Munich, they're not really having any chances, to be fair. They're getting forward a lot, but they're not doing all with the ball. It was a nice pass from Moisander making his way forward. Eggestein slipped over on the shot. I think that's what might have dragged it wide. Good effort from him, though. I'm just watching the replay. It's so close to it in the post. But Werder Bremen, they're threatening here.
Yeah, and he's another one we should probably shine a spotlight on, is Maximilian Eggestein, still a young player, a young central midfielder. He looks to have, I think he will move on sooner rather than later, especially if Werder Bremen go down. I can definitely see him moving on in the future because he's a very, very talented central midfielder.
I mean, we've just highlighted four players from Werder Bremen there.
Exactly. Sadly, it's amazing because we said they don't concede many, but none of them were defenders. Pavlenka's a great goalkeeper, he really is. But the only reason I'm talking about Werder Bremen is because there's not much going on here, which probably suits Paderborn. Because as I say, once they go 1-0 down, they are not good chasing a game. But if it stays like this for a little longer, they may have to push a few men forward. But it is only the 20th minute, so there's a long time to go in this one.
So just a live update on the table. If Werder Bremen draw, they will go above Fortuna Dusseldorf into the relegation playoff position. Fortuna obviously play tomorrow against who did we say they
Leipzig.
played? Leipzig. Played Leipzig. And Werder Bremen will be 2 points off Mainz, who have to play Dortmund tomorrow. It's getting hot down there at the bottom of the table.
It is. And I think, if I'm not wrong, is it Werder or is it Mainz? I can't remember. One of them still plays Leverkusen on the final day of the season. I can't remember which one.
I think it's Mainz.
Yeah, because I think they play either. Who do they play tomorrow? Dortmund.
Yeah, I will check. That's next.
Dortmund, Paderborn, Leverkusen, or Dortmund, Werder, Leverkusen.
Yeah,
so
it is Mainz.
yeah, they play Dortmund. That game in the middle is so important. Oh yes, because it's Mainz v Werder on Saturday, of course. Which I think we are doing another Bundesliga Watchalong, and whoever gets that game, that is the one with the most riding on it, most definitely, out of the games on the weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
I messaged you after the game on the week. I think I messaged saying it's going to be fire on the weekend between them two.
I mean, hopefully Werder Bremen come out of the shell a bit and go a bit more attacking in that game, because they'll need the win to secure their relegation playoff safety. Yeah,
it's definitely. I mean, for Werder Bremen though, I don't think they'd fancy themselves, and I'd fancy them in the relegation playoff. As with Mainz, I'd probably fancy them as well. Whereas Fortuna, I could see it going to the Bundesliga 2 sides way. But in last year's, Union Berlin managed to beat Stuttgart, who at the start of the season I wouldn't have been able to tell you that was going to happen either. So,
it's been a very dull affair. I'm not going to lie. This game.
It has.
It's been a very dull affair so far in all games, hasn't it? It's 0-0 in the Freiburg-Hertha game. We've had a few more shots for both sides, all off target. Good work over there from the boys.
It's not quite the midweek fixture we had when we had me a 3-3, you were 4. When Wolfsburg played Leverkusen, they won 4-1.
Then Rowan had a 0-0.
We've both been Rowan here, and we've both got games that have started 0-0 and started very slowly. I expected that from my game, but not from Bayern Munich.
Oh, big Chris Welch is in the chat. He's put, "Hi lads, hope you both well." We are both absolutely fantastic. We'd be a bit better if we had some goals, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, yeah, we would. We would be giving it limbs, especially if Paderborn score. Demonetisation, sure, whipping it round because Paderborn might survive.
I can't wait for Paderborn to score a last-minute winner and see your reaction.
I won't be on the screen. I'll back over there. You won't see. I think I have got a scarf. It's a Hull one, but I could pretend. You know, let's cut it. What do you? Because obviously the Premier League comes back, and because these games are getting a thing, it is the Coppa Italia tomorrow.
It is.
What are you excited? Because obviously the thing is tomorrow we've got the Bundesliga, we've got Italy, but I've got a feeling most people won't be watching them games, even though they're really important. Because obviously we've got Man City v Arsenal at the same time. It's torn me.
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, you can probably watch the first half of Napoli, and we can watch most of the first half of Napoli and Juventus, because it starts at quarter to 8, and City don't kick off till 8:15, I think. But it's really, I think Italy have kind of shot themselves in the foot there. They should have had it on. Coleman's header just goes wide. But back to what I was saying about Italy. I think they've kind of shot themselves in the foot with that, because obviously you need to get your games over and done with. But if they wanted the big viewing numbers from BT themselves, especially, I don't think they should have put it on at the same time as the Premier League was back and the Bundesliga on tomorrow as well.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one tomorrow, because I know most people in England will choose obviously Arsenal Man City, because it's not even a bad game. I mean, if they switched them round and Arsenal played at 5:30 and it was Villa v Sheffield, we would watch the Coppa Italia final.
The thing is that I'm actually watching Villa and Sheffield because it has repercussions on Man United, of course. So.
No, which I would never have thought.
I didn't think I'd be saying that at the start of the season.
Oh, Union Berlin have attacked. I thought it was offside, but they let the play go on, and I can't see who it is. Is it Bühler? Yeah, he arrives as a cross comes in when I thought it was offside. It's a cross in, and he's headed it from the midway point of the box. Glanced it across towards the far corner, and it's just hit the outside of the post. Paderborn escaped there.
Oh, they've been let off the hook there, aren't they, Paderborn? Again.
They have. He's miles offside. I knew he was. He's miles offside. And I don't know how the linesman had to spot it. If it would have gone in, obviously it would have been ruled out. But honestly,
we've had our first alert in the Freiburg and Hertha game. Turinariga's got a yellow card.
Oh right, I thought the referee had just blown his whistle again. Like he's just blown it again.
Rowan said, "Who's been the best desk?" I'm not sure. Team, he meant.
Easy mistake to make. Who's been the best team in the games?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's been the games.
Werder
Bremen, when they've had the ball, they've come forward. Well,
are they playing without fear? Because a lot of teams play Bayern and they are scared, and they're rightly so, because they can tear teams apart.
I mean, I wouldn't say they're playing without fear. They have got 11 men behind the ball, and there's a lovely pass to Gnabry. He's put it into the box. I think Muller's offside. It's come to Goretzka. He's hit the bar. Yeah, he's offside. Muller was offside. Fantastic chance for Bayern Munich there. If Muller leaves that, Goretzka's tapped that in for 1-0. But Chris Welch just put, I'm looking forward to Aston Villa versus Sheffield United tomorrow, which is a big game in the Premier League. In my opinion, Man City will be Arsenal problem. I agree with you. And he's on about the Paderborn game as well. Oh,
sadly, Rowan, it's been Union Berlin. I mean, do you know that loss of the captain for Paderborn just can't get anything, going their way, can they? Honestly. I want to suspect Bundesliga agent referee, in my opinion, agent referee. But we will talk a little bit about Aston Villa v Sheffield United because Chris Welch put the comment. I do agree. I think City will beat Arsenal, no problem. But again, we've got to ask: is it the best time to play Man City when they haven't quite got their free-flowing best yet? What do you think?
I think it's going to be tricky for both sides, in all honesty.
Yeah, I'm trying to play devil's advocate like I did the first time, but the first time I just looked like a silly person because I said Arsenal would give them a good game and they got dispatched.
I absolutely shot you both down.
Oh, it's in! And Union Berlin have took the lead. I don't know if it's come straight from the free kick, which was, of course, I think, by that man Trimmel. But it's I tell you what, I'm just waiting for the replay so I can give you more in-depth looks. I can't tell if it took a touch off a player in the box. But Union Berlin take the lead, and Paderborn may well be saying goodbye to their Bundesliga status. It's midway through the half. It's a nice ball into the box. Oh, it might be an own goal. And nothing is going their way. Trimmel lofts the ball in, and he jumps up to reach the head, and it does. Oh. It comes off the head. Is it Zielinski? But it is definitely a Paderborn man, and Zingeli can't get there as it goes into the left corner. It's
gutting for Paderborn, but in my game, something else just happened. I think they're going to a VAR check for a penalty for Bayern Munich, possibly. The ball's floated in. It's an awful touch from Lewandowski. He's touched it to go behind him. It's not been given as a penalty, I don't think. But the touch that he's took, it's kind of flicked behind him. He's turned around to get it. Gebre Selassie is there to clear it, and Gebre Selassie accidentally hit Lewandowski with his elbow. It looked horrible when it was in slow-mo. It's not been given as a penalty, but and Lewandowski, thankfully, is back on his feet.
I was going to say, I think they'd have to make sure it was intentional rather than just a flailing out. I do want to confirm it has been given as a Zielinski own goal. He was just reaching with the header, and do you know where it skids off the top of his head? Because he's quite tall enough, and it evaded Zingeli in the Paderborn goal. They've got to come out fighting now, and they never look good when 1-0 behind. But hopefully they can pick up their performance levels. But Union Berlin are winning.
Well, they've got to do something that they haven't done since the break, which is score 2 goals in one match.
Yeah, they've had a few 0-0s and a couple of 1-1s, but they have. You're right, they have never scored. Well, not never scored 2, but since the restart, they definitely haven't. Which is
Thomas Muller is now dictating this game. He's put 4 or 5 beautiful crosses into the box. It's very, very, very one-sided, this game now. I know I said Werder Bremen were the better team a few moments ago, but Bayern Munich come into their own. They're absolutely dominating procedures now.
Obviously, he missed the last game, so he probably looks a bit well rested because he didn't have to play on the weekend. Same with Lewandowski.
And we watched the Bayern Munich and Gladbach game, and we saw how much they miss they missed Lewandowski and Muller. Like Joshua Zirkzee, he got his goal, which is great for him, but he got it gifted to him really. Other than that, he didn't really do much else. I thought Kaison's played well. To be fair, I thought he played very well.
Yeah, but you're right. Then they're not the same team when them two aren't there. They didn't. I mean, as I've said before, I think Mönchengladbach could have got a lot more from this game. Strali Mumba breaks down the right. It's a poor cross. It's a striker's cross because he's not a winger, and it goes straight into the hands of Gilkevich, the Polish Union Berlin goalkeeper.
Well, Chris Welch has put the Tottenham vs Man United game on Friday. That is a Friday night football for you. Both teams getting their big boys back. Interesting game, especially Mourinho starting his mind games about Ollie. Just as Mourinho, and he's a prick.
That's what he does. It's one of them. You expect it with Mourinho now. After how many years he's been in management, it will be good. But as we say, the Premier League is back. But I've said this to you, Kieran. I'm sad that everyone's forgetting about the Bundesliga because it's been good since it's returned. But
I mean, I think it's good for the Bundesliga that their season's about to finish when the Premier League is about to come back. Not that it's come back. Not that the Premier League's come back when the Bundesliga was in its prime almost when it came back and everyone was watching it.
Definitely so, and I think it's harder for these continental leagues to keep the attention of English football fans because we like what we know, which is the English Premier League, and that's fair enough. But obviously, Italy is starting to come back soon. Obviously, the Coppa Italia's come back, but not sure about the league. That's not
and Spain obviously came back. David Klassen's in the box. He's had a shot at that has hit Rose Ed. That has, interestingly enough.
Everton, David Klassen, is it?
No, he wriggled his way into the box and he didn't even bother beating his man. He just hit it and it just flew a long way over the bar.
It's still flying right now.
No, Alaba's got it now.
That sums up Paderborn's season because they tried to play some down the left. Strali Mamba went to release a through ball with his left foot and he kicked it out of play instead. So,
oh, no.
Yeah, it sums up the way their season has gone. But they will be sorely missed. But they still have time to get back into this game.
Just an update on the Freiburg Hertha Berlin. There's been nothing that has happened in that game at all.
I wish BT offered split screen. That would be a really nice experience during this time to put Freiburg on one side and have the other game on one side.
Well, I mean, I could get it up on my PC if you really wanted me to, and I can watch it there.
If it's essential viewing, you can.
It doesn't seem like it so far.
I was going to say, it's up to you. If you want to watch 2 0-0s at the same time, then sure, I'll leave that to you. But
I was hoping Bayern had scored then, so I had a little segue to a goal. But no, they've just fluffed the free kick into the wall.
No, there is 3 games going on tonight. It's currently Union Berlin 1, Paderborn 0, which would relegate Paderborn. It is also Bayern Munich 0, Werder Bremen 0, which would keep Werder Bremen not going to finish last, is basically what this secures for Werder Bremen.
Well, they're going to go above Fortuna, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, with the point, if things stayed the same. And Freiburg v Hertha, which I'm pretty sure still Freiburg will be 6th or 7th. I'm not sure which. I'll have to get that checked. Either way,
Freiburg will be 7th.
7th. Because Wolfsburg is 6th.
Because Hertha will go above, I think, Frankfurt and Schalke into 9th if they draw.
So obviously, I think Hertha Berlin's European fight is slightly over after their dismantling at the weekend due to Dedrick Bayer getting sent off, and then just struggled from there and out. It is a counter by Union Berlin from a Paderborn corner. It's fell to Andrich, who striked it straight into Gadjasula. It's fell to the wing for Union Berlin, cross back in, and it's cleared before Drager picks it up and Paderborn can come the other way.
It's absolutely pissing it down in Werder Bremen Stadium, I tell you that.
See,
it is wet.
You commented about me on the weekend where I was like, the most exciting thing is the rain. Now you understand what I mean. when you commented on the weather, the game's not that good. But I will take a sip of my beverage.
I mean, we've got 12 minutes left in this game before added time. Before half time.
How would you describe the start?
Dull.
Politely.
Dull.
Politely describe the first.
It is literally like watching Werder Bremen.
Oh, dull.
They're just such. They're such a. It's like when bloody Mourinho used to manage and he used to be happy with a 1-0 win, but he'd put everyone behind ball, even if you were playing like say Burnley at home. It is so boring. I'm not gonna lie, but I hope it spurs into life in the second half because Werder need to win, don't they? To be honest.
Yeah, but it's one of them. I don't agree with what they're doing, but it's like they don't have a choice because Bayern are so good that if they went and wanted they just get passed through.
But they play like this week in, week out, the Werder Bremen. Even against teams that they're arguably better than.
Oh, Paderborn have squared it. It's fell to Zielinski. He's gone for the overhead kick. And it's sailed over the bar. I tell you what, after scoring an own goal, if you want to get back into the hearts of the fans, whack an overhead kick home, and you might be there. Holtman was on the wing, but he chips it up to himself. I tell you what, ambitious would be.
I'll tell you something. The person that's doing the bloody updates for Freiburg and Hertha on the Bundesliga website must either be very bored or just like or not doing his job. Because I'm looking at the Bayern Munich one and there's updates every minute. They've had one update in 37 minutes, and that was Torunariga getting a yellow card.
I just question whether it's literally that is all that's happened in that game. I'm beginning to question whether that's just it, and it's been one yellow card. But Hertha, I feel like they've lost their way a little bit after the loss to Dortmund. They don't seem to be the same team, should I say?
Well, Chris Welch is back in the chat. It's put great to have a proper number 10 running the country. Marcus Rashford deserves all the credit he gets. He does.
I agree. I think he's one of them. I think it's no matter what team you support, you have to support what Marcus Rashford has done for not even just football, just the community in general and the nation in general, which I don't think we've had a footballer like that for a very, very long time. So full credit to Mr. Marcus Rashford.
I think that Marcus Rashford is one of those footballers that you just can't dislike.
No, he gets it.
Yeah.
He views himself as a human being, whereas some footballers view themselves as a star. He knows he's a star, but he doesn't forget where he came from, which is an invaluable quality, honestly.
Well, we've got a counter on here. Rashika has ran straight into Boateng. And I don't think you're getting past Jerome Boateng one-on-one.
Oh, sorry to interrupt. It's side netting. I thought it was in for Paderborn.
Oh, you interrupt me at any time if Paderborn have got a chance, trust me.
It was a switch of play to Draga, who took a nice touch. The thing was, he was so indecisive. He kept looking to the left to see if a striker was going to come and, come up with him. No one at all bothered. So he had to take it on his own, tried to strike it at the near post, but could only find the side net. And do continue, Kieran, I apologise.
Oh, no, I was just saying that Rashika tried to take Jerome Boateng on, run at him, but it didn't work.
He tried to do a Messi.
That is the most interesting thing that's happened for quite some time.
A grown man attempting to run has been the most intriguing.
Muller's in down the line here. Werder Bremen are always so good at defending, and they're always quick when a player's getting behind them. Like Moisander's just absolutely snapped it off the feet of Muller there when he's got him behind him. Muller is onside, being played onside by Kevin Vogt, and Bayern Munich have got a corner. 39 minutes in.
We talk about one of the most utilised players since the restart for Werder Bremen. Where is Kevin Vogt lining up? Is he lining up as a centre-back? Is he lining up as a defensive midfielder? Because he's done both since the restart.
Well, arguably, he played his best when he played at that centre defensive midfield role in front of the centre backs, almost like an anchor man. He is playing at the centre half today, though. He's been commanding, as you would have thought. He's headed a lot of balls out the box. He's just using his experience and his height really to get the better of Lewandowski really so far. It's been very cagey since about the 30th minute, I'd say.
It's one of them.
There's a lot of fouls happening.
I tell you, Werder Bremen, I think, could be more than happy for the game to end at 0-0 if that was to be the result come 90 minutes.
Probably bit your hand off if you said 0-0 at half time.
Yeah, definitely. The way Bayern had been playing, obviously they didn't quite look the best against Gladbach. And I tell you what, if Gladbach beat them and Werder Bremen's game today ended in a draw, I tell you what, we'd be back going, is the title race back on? But no, it's not, sadly.
Well, I mean, it would have been, wouldn't it? Because you think Bayern would be on 71, Dortmund would be on 66. If they were to draw tonight, they'd have been on 72, and if Dortmund were to win, they'd have been on 69. So there'd have been 3 points in it.
Exactly. And obviously, I don't know if it's goal difference. I think it's goal difference in Bundesliga, not head to head, but there sounds like there's been a chance.
It was a ball whipped in from Goretzka's. It's not Goretzka's corner. Someone's corner. Goretzka's got onto it, and he's nodded it down, and it's just Kingsley Coman missed jumps. If he doesn't even jump, he's got a tap in. Massive chance.
And another man who's really thrived in this restart era has definitely been Leon Goretzka for Bayern Munich. He's become arguably more of a standout player than Lewandowski since the restart, and he's been picking up a lot of goals from midfield. And just his all-round play has been quite impressive. I don't know if he's stood out at all in this game. It doesn't sound like it, but
I don't think anybody's really stood out. I'd probably say the best player on the pitch is probably either Pavard or Muller. Pavard, he's been another one that's been absolutely fantastic since the restart. Obviously, nice finish for own goal on weekend, but no, he's to say he's not the tallest or not the most physical player. He scores a lot of headers, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. He's not that. Do you know what? He's one of them that at fullback, he's maybe a little bit too tall to be a fullback. He's not really that fast to be a fullback. Yet he plays the position really, really well.
Like I remember messaging you during that Dusseldorf game saying, how much of a threat is Benjamin Pavard from corners for Bayern Munich?
Yeah.
And it's just insane to think that he's not the strongest, so you should easily be able to like outmuscle him and get him off the ball, get there in front of him. But he just seems to win every header he comes up for.
Yeah, he's definitely, since the World Cup, he has shone for Bayern Munich in a position where, since Philipp Lahm left, there was always question marks over that position. And he's no Philipp Lahm, don't get me wrong, he's not going to be Philipp Lahm within a year or two of signing, but he's making that position his own. And a bit like Alphonso Davies at left back, really. It's been a very... I'll tell you what, sorry, I've just looked outside because it's absolutely peeing it down. And that's how exciting this game is. I'm now looking at our own weather.
There's a lot of balls being put into the box here from Bayern Munich. Another one over top by Boateng. Muller's onto it. He's chested it down and he's finished it. I think, is he offside? No, he's not. It's not Muller, it's Lewandowski. It's 1-0.
And just like that, we said Werder Bremen would bite you off at 0-0 and they might just be 1-0 down leading into the break.
I think it's going to VAR, but that is a magnificent pass by Jerome Boateng. It's not Lewandowski who's offside. Thomas Muller is the one that's offside. So it should be given. It's a fantastic finish from Lewandowski. It's a trademark Lewandowski finish. He kicks it into the floor on the volley and it's gone in. Lovely goal. And
it's one of them which we talk about. Bayern don't need to be at the best to tear teams apart. And just like that, they are, after not looking their best, a bit like we said earlier, a slip up in a 2-1 win. You'd say today's performance has been a slip up and they're 1-0 up at half time.
I mean, the referee is still talking to the VAR people. The thing is, Lewandowski wasn't offside. It was Thomas Muller who was still in the offside position. But the ball didn't even go anywhere near Thomas Muller. Lewandowski ran onto it, finished it. It'd be very harsh if this is ruled out.
I was going to say, is it one of them where that maybe possible interference with play? Is that the only real
call?
No,
because it was a ball over the top. The ball was whipped in from a free kick. It came out. It come to Boateng. He flicked it back in. I'd say the Werder Bremen manager is not happy at all. The goal has stood.
Yeah.
Oh, and there could be another one here. Coman's nicked it back. Good defending. Werder Bremen looks shaky now. The goal has stood. Yeah, what I was saying was Muller, who was stood in front of the defenders as the ball had come over. Lewandowski was stood maybe 2 meters behind him, keeping that social distancing. Good lad. But he was the one that ran onto the ball, Lewandowski. So it would have been harsh if it was ruled offside. Rashika's in down the left hand side here. There's a ball in. Is that the handball thing there? It's been given as offside anyway.
I apologise if you can hear thunder in the background. I don't know if you can on the audio.
I think I just heard that. It's all right. It's all right.
There is a thunderstorm. I cannot control the weather yet.
Unfortunately.
So we're just going to have to live with that. Go on.
Cristiano Welsh has put, before lockdown, didn't watch much of the Bundesliga, but now I've actually enjoyed watching it, even without fair fans and crowd noise. Isn't as bad as people make out.
I said this to you, didn't I? Next year, and I think I said it to Rowan last night, if they had every 2:30 kickoff on telly next year for BT, if they could get that allowed, because I don't think it's not, obviously, it's illegal to do the English kickoffs, but I don't think it's illegal to do the German kickoffs at 2:30, or I don't think it should be. So if they could get all of them, I would start watching the Bundesliga week in, week out, because it is thoroughly enjoyable. I don't know about you, Kieran. I know you will love English football because you support a team in the Premier League. You know, but would you?
I've enjoyed watching the Bundesliga. I'm not going to lie. I've enjoyed watching. I've enjoyed watching Mainz. I've enjoyed watching Frankfurt sometimes. Wolfsburg, obviously. Anyway, there's a lot of teams that I like watching in the Bundesliga. It's entertaining football. It's a different style of football to the Premier League as well.
Do you know what I think it is as well? It's players that you've seen highlighted because either like maybe you play FIFA or you've heard about them. You know, for example, like Milot Rashica and Filip Kostic. We see an inform or we hear people say he's scored a hat trick and this is whatever. Whereas seeing them week in, week out, I can see why Filip Kostic is so highly touted because every time he puts a cross in, it's usually a decent cross. And so it's nice to finally see players you've heard about, get to see them week in, week out and understand how well they play. And I guess if you sign a player from the Bundesliga this summer for your team, you've learned more about them than you thought you would.
Yeah, I mean, like it's interesting, isn't it? Because I never realised how good Filip Kostic actually was until I watched him live and how pivotal he is to that Frankfurt side. Chris just put, will the Bundesliga be back with fans next season? You know what? It probably will because Germany's just so efficient in how they do things.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's not capacity.
It will be capacity.
It's like, for example, like I know when they brought back like theme parks, they've gone with either 50 or 25% between that. I think that's what they'll have to do. And I think they will have to do every other seat or every other 2 seats if they want to bring fans back. But I don't want to rush things because I cannot be bothered having this all over again. So if I think they will. But if it's safer to not, then don't bother.
So I've reached out time in my game. The Freiburg and Hertha Berlin game is 0-0 as well. Your game 0-0 half time.
No, I've got 20 seconds now. We've stalled for 10. It's back to the Paderborn goalkeeper. You'd think it's 90 minutes because he's hoofed it long to the wing. Headed it back in. Oh, it's a lovely touch. Is that handball? It is, and it's a free kick for Union Berlin. What a way to finish the half this would be if Paderborn, got the free kick. It'd be to finish the half. That'd be if they could take a 1-1 draw. It was a nice little flick, and it definitely was blocked by the arm. A little bit higher than Neuhaus's arm earlier. So it is a free kick. They've not took it yet. So do you know when you try and stall like a penalty? When everyone's going to walk through. Talk about who's lining up to take it. It's Ritter. Not seen much of him in this half. I think he started at right midfield because I think they started Holtman a bit further back. Oh no, they brought on Drager. So Drager's now dropped in at right back. Ritter, the right midfielder, strikes it right at the wall and anticlimactic, a bit like Paderborn's season. There you go. But that is half time now, and that is. Do we want to talk through these games? I think we have to. So in the Freiburg Hertha game, it's 0-0, and by the sounds of it, nothing happened. That's all I can. Taylor and Raphael got yellow carded. There you go. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all that's happened.
Yeah, but at least we've got the games that have at least one goal. So we'll start with Bayern Munich, who took the lead just before half-time through the man that is by far and away the top goal scorer. Werner won't catch him. Robert Lewandowski. Kieran, take us through it.
I mean, that is his 31st goal of the season. It was a lovely finish. Trademark Lewandowski finish, really. Lovely take on the chest. Volleyed it into the floor. The bounce took it away from Pavlenka, and he's just absolutely brilliant. The experienced players really made a difference for Bayern Munich. I think if Jerome Boateng wasn't playing, for example, Muller, Lewandowski, it'd be a different kettle of fish for Werder Bremen to face. I think Jerome Boateng has actually been by far the best player on the pitch. That ball he put over to Lewandowski was absolutely magnificent. That's a midfielder's pass that he's played to Lewandowski over the top of the defenders there. But for Werder Bremen, I think they've got to take some confidence in the fact that they lasted 42 minutes before they conceded, and they've been playing some decent football. Like I said, they just don't have a goal scorer, and they're just not good enough going forward.
What do you think Werder need to do to get back into this game? Has there been an out ball? Like, has Rashica looked dangerous up against the fullbacks? Or what do you think it needs for them to even sneak a draw in this game, or maybe even a win if they're very lucky?
I think they need to they need to put two up front, because there is the out ball to Rashica. Asako is just not quick enough on his own to be beating Alaba and Boateng together. So maybe they should bring on maybe Selke or Sargent or even Pizarro off the bench. I know he's not the quickest, but his experience might help him on the pitch. I don't even know who else is on the bench for Werder Bremen. Maybe Bartels. I don't know, honestly. I'm not quite sure what you can do to beat Bayern Munich at the moment.
That's the thing. It's not any other team, is it? It's the best team in the league. And I do think I agree with you. I think Osako, he's not a one-man striker. He can't do it. He needs to be the guy. I think he's always better. Do you know, like a Yusuf Poulsen for Leipzig? Like, he doesn't always get on the score sheet, but he does help with the build-up play, and he does work hard for another striker that's a bit more prolific. But there isn't a prolific striker. So I agree that Werder are in a little bit of a tough spot. But we'll move to Paderborn via Union Berlin. Blow for Paderborn early on. They lost their captain, Strode, at the centre-back, to, it looks like, either a torn hamstring or a pulled hamstring or something. He couldn't carry on. And then it got even worse with a Trimmel free kick from just inside Paderborn's half. Was lofted into the box. An aimless ball, really. And Zielinski tried his best to head it clear, but it was just above him, and it skinned off the top of his head and past Zingeli, who had no chance. In terms of the rest of the half, that was pretty much it. They obviously hit the post, did Union Berlin, but I've seen absolutely nothing from Paderborn at all, which is a bit of a shame. They haven't really had a chance. Maybe that Drager chance that hit the side netting, but I just don't really see. Do you know, like, sometimes you can kind of see the silver lining. I can't. For Paderborn, sadly, Kieran.
So you asked me what Werder Bremen can do to change. What do you think Paderborn can do to change to maybe? Well, they need to get the win, don't they? Yeah. Out of this game.
Yeah, they do. And the formation at the start, it just wasn't working, and it still really isn't working. I think maybe push the wingers a little bit further on. Maybe because at the moment they're playing a striker that's not really a striker. I think maybe we need to bring on Dennis Sabani or Sven Mitchell, and then maybe Mamba and one of them can work off each other, because they need goals. There's no doubt about that. But they have lost a crucial centre-back, and I think maybe as it gets later and later on, I wouldn't be avoiding going three at the back, possibly, but I wouldn't do it straight away. I'd get to about the 60th minute and then kind of start manipulating the team to have three at the back, push the wingers on, and have two up front and try and pass between the lines of Union Berlin, because they're not the strongest team defensively. So I think there are openings, but they just haven't found them just yet.
So no, I agree with you.
Yeah,
but you can always pay VAR and referees tons of money to beat Bayern Munich. That's the only way, probably, mate. And you've also put, I think, all the English football leagues what I fancy 2021, in my opinion. I agree with you as well on that.
Right. I think we might have fans, just not all of. Again, I think they might do before the end of the year. I think they might have some fans back. Not many, but some. But because
But I think even that is a risk, especially for stadiums like Bournemouth, where there's only 11,000 capacity, and you think it's quite a small stadium. It's all right talking about it for like Man United, for like Old Trafford and Stamford Bridge, these big stadiums, because you've got a lot of space and the seats quite far apart in terms of where the stands are. But for Bournemouth, 11,000 people, 11,000, you're thinking the capacity is going to be what, maybe a couple hundred for that stadium?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see 50% full stadiums, but I question it because obviously teams are worried about obviously how much money they make from tickets, etc. And ideally, I think that's the only real reason football's coming back is the financial side and also credibility. Because if the league didn't go ahead this year, teams would just be like, well, what was the point in everything? So both credibility and the financial side of things. So I don't personally want to see half-filled stadiums. It's not the same. But I agree to your extent. It's always difficult. It's a bit like the Champions League returning, and we said, can you imagine if it returns in August or whenever, when Ligue 1 gets back up and running, and they've got to play league games and Champions League. It's just such a weird time that there's no right answer.
I don't want to see fans in a stadium. This is my honest opinion. I don't want to see fans in a stadium until it's absolutely safe to do so, because I don't want to see a half full Old Trafford with 37,500 people in it.
Completely agree, pal. I am completely agree. I think we may, but not due to us wanting it or anything like that. Because you think about all the things that are slowly returning. You saw bloody the queues for Primark the other day. Why? just why?
Getting your £3 skirts and your £3 jeans.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But when we're in the middle of a pandemic,
no, there's not.
When we're in the middle of a pandemic, it's like, why is that on your mind? It's the first thing you want to do is go and join a humongous queue. So I feel like it may come back sooner than we think, because I think everything's come back a little bit sooner than I thought, especially, Chester Zoo's reopening soon, Thorpe Park's reopening soon. So I don't know, mate.
I think we're going back to normality a bit too quick, to be honest.
I agree, because we're still very high on the old death toll. I know everything's to be fair, every person that sadly passes away, I think, is being reported as corona at the moment, which is I don't think the numbers are quite right, because I don't think people know. Do you know autopsies and whatever else?
Yeah.
They put it as corona and then they sort the rest out later. So I do agree with you, though. I don't think for some reason, like, I understand New Zealand going back to normality because they don't have a case, whereas us, we still do. But enough. I'm sick about. I just want things to go back to normal, but I'd rather it stay safe for as long as possible. So
yeah, I mean, yeah. Let's just forget about all that. Let's get back on with the football, which should be kicking off in about 5 to 10 minutes.
I was actually talking about this the other day, and as much as obviously the sports come back, either financial or credibility wise, it's nice to see it putting smiles on people's faces and us forgetting about the world's problems for a little bit. Especially these watchalongs, it's been so nice to dispatch from the crap world we live in, and watch arguably our favourite sport and the consensus best sport in the world.
I mean, you just think about how excited we were when the Bundesliga got announced it was coming back so early into May.
Yeah.
We were all excited to watch it just because we love football so much, and that is what everyone loves. Sports fans, football fans, you just want to see football no matter what it is. That's why I wasn't that bothered about the Bundesliga coming back first, because it's a good league. Yeah,
and I tell you what, I hope the Bundesliga get all the credit they do, because they have set the way for how to do it. And we talked about this on the podcast. It took one nation to take the jump to try and do it, be the first to do it, and say, "We'll try it, and we'll be the guinea pig. And if it works, then every other league can sit back and didn't have to do it and go, oh, look, we'll just copy them. And then, so praise to Germany for, as you said, being so efficient and leading the way, I think. And it's been a humongous success.
Yeah, Chris Welch just talking about the lower league clubs in the I think he's on about the English tier. These lower league clubs might need half the fans to stay to keep their clubs alive in business. Well, there has been talks of, like, I think it was one of the EFL chiefs talking about maybe 10 plus clubs out of the 48 in the EFL League 1 and 2 that could go into administration without the actual match day revenue that they gain from ticket sales, from pretty much just.
You've gone there, pal. You've cut out. Karen? All right. I think basically what he's saying is, like, smaller clubs. We saw Bury drop off. We've seen Notts County drop off. I think Macclesfield have also said I think they were struggling for money as well. And it is a big part of these smaller clubs. They don't get the TV money, especially in League 1 and League 2. They don't get any TV money, really, apart from the international breaks. And that's still only the big teams. Like Sunderland will get a little bit because they're a big club. So, but not every team is a Sunderland. They're not that big. So I think monetary-wise, it is going to be a struggle for these smaller teams. And this is just me. Hello. But I agree with you, Chris Welch, in terms of I worry for these smaller teams that it won't be enough to keep them alive. And I hope the FA or the EFL, whoever, the powers that be, put in some level of funding for these smaller teams. There's obviously bigger problems in the world right now that we need to put money towards in terms of healthcare, and I completely understand that. But I also think it would be a shame to lose half of the football clubs in the Football League. Thank you, Chris Welch. It is Kieran L on his own, and it might just be the Kieran L Bundesliga Watchalong. Welcome to the Paderborn dedication Watchalong with only me, because I'm the only in.
Well, that wasn't a piss take at all.
Chris Welch was the Paderborn Watchalong.
My internet went. My internet just disconnected on my PC for some reason. I'm not sure why, but I heard people loving the KL Watchalong.
I kind of just picked up on your point and spoke about, like, there is places that need funding, but I would like to see the EFL or the FA or whoever the powers are to fund these smaller clubs just to get them back on the feet and, back to not normality, but like keep them going for now. Obviously, healthcare is more important, but I want to see that. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. So, Rowan, have you answered Rowan's question? How did Paderborn get on?
We don't talk about. No, they're 1-0 down at the moment. But second half still. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some changes from the Paderborn manager. I don't think he's going to waste any time in switching up the tactics.
I tell you, it's going to be good for Mainz if Bremen and Fortuna can't win, because they'll be 3 points ahead of both teams with arguably their free hit of a loss against Dortmund. Really,
I was going to say. I think this midweek for them three teams fighting is kind of a hit week because it's Leipzig, Bayern, and Dortmund. It's just like, just scrap it. We'll worry about it next week when there's only 2 weeks to go, and that's it. We are coming towards the end of the Bundesliga. How would you review the season in general? Because obviously we've got the winners in Bayern Munich, pretty much. So what would you say?
I think it's been arguably one of the most entertaining Bundesliga title races and seasons overall for a long time. Yeah. It's been the first real time that I've watched the Bundesliga and thought, oh, gee, this is all right, isn't it? Like, because at Christmas we had Mönchengladbach leading, we had Schalke up there, we had a real title race. And unfortunately, Bayern Munich have won it again, which is not the best from a neutral point of view, because you want to see someone new win it, but they have been the best side.
Yeah.
And they deserve to win it.
It appeared for a long period of time. For example, we had Mönchengladbach in that December Christmas period where they led the league and they were top when they beat Bayern. And that truly everyone started to go, oh my God, Bayern, they've been beaten by Mönchengladbach, and this could be the year where someone takes it from them. And then there was Leipzig, who were top and then they drew with Bayern 0-0, and everyone thought that's it, that they can go on and they just need to handle their business, and they didn't. But as usual, who's been handling their business since Hansi Flick was in charge? Bayern Munich, as usual. But
yeah,
I hope that the Bundesliga does not get raided of its star talent this year, so we can have another exciting title race next year. But I've got a feeling we might see a weakened Gladbach side, a weakened Leverkusen side, and a weakened Dortmund side come next year.
I think a lot of the Bundesliga sides might get raided.
Oh, and a weakened Leipzig, because they've lost Werner.
I think Langkamp's coming on for Werder Bremen. I'm not sure if he was on. I don't see Kevin. Actually, yeah, Kevin Vochter's now. It looks like they've gone to 3-5-2. I think they've gone to now.
Yeah,
with Kevin Vochter being deployed as a. I don't know actually. Has he come off? Let me just check that. I think Kevin Vogt might have come off.
Because Sebastian Langkamp is a centre back, so maybe that's the one.
Yeah, Vogt has come off for Langkamp.
Oh, it must be an injury because there's no need to change centre backs, is there? Maybe there is.
I mean, it doesn't. The Sega official website, and just an update on the Freiburg and Hertha Berlin game. Nothing has happened in 3 minutes of the second half.
He blows his whistle. There you go. The second half. In this game, I think Paderborn have either adopted. I think it'll be a 5-3-2 when out of possession, but when in possession, a 3-4. Maybe a 3-5-2 rather than a 3-4-1-2. I don't see anyone lining up in attacking midfield, and the defender has took one straight in that place. You do not want to take a hit.
So we were just talking about Dortmund. Rowan's put, I think Dortmund could go either way. I mean, getting rid of bad blood in Sancho, but losing Hakimi as well.
Yeah,
Moynier is a decent signing, but just need to find a decent replacement for Sancho. Yeah, they need to sign the money. They need to sign a player with the money that they get for Sancho that is going to have, that's got the potential to grow. Like what Dortmund do, they sign their young players and they grow them. It's very much a breeding ground for young talent.
Yeah, I think they need players that can make a difference now as well. It's like we said the other day. I think Hakimi's a massive loss, and Mounier to me is not a direct replacement in terms of style. He's completely different. He's a good fullback. He does get forward. Sorry, he does get forward for Belgium. He scores a lot of goals for Belgium actually.
Yeah.
But I just don't see him as a bombing wing back.
Yeah, like I said in the chat earlier, that Moynier is a good signing in terms of his experience and stuff, but he's not as attacking. He's a better defender than Hakimi is, but he's not a better attacker than Hakimi is. And arguably, you'd say Hakimi's job is to attack more than he is to defend. Yeah,
maybe. To be fair, if they adopt him like Belgium do, because I remember seeing him, I think it might have been in a qualifying game or a tournament game, he scored a double from the right back position. So he does get forward, but as you said, he's not. For me, he just doesn't offer as much going forward as the likes of Hakimi does. And I do agree, we're getting rid of Sancho. I don't think it's a bad egg as much to say. He's got one of them personalities that some clubs just, it doesn't fit. And now Sancho's become a superstar. He's outgrew Borussia Dortmund, in his opinion. That's what I'd probably say. So I do think they can improve the squad overall because they have made good signings in the past.
What are you thinking? They're going to get 80 plus for? Well, hang on, there's a chance here. Gebre Selassie picked up on right back position. Oh, that's a terrible pass. Still got it with Bittencourt. He's been fouled by Coman. No, he's not. He's dived. Oh. Good decision from the linesman there.
Is it a booking for simulation?
I don't know if it's a booking. It wasn't a foul. Let me just say that. It wasn't a foul. But no, he's not been booked. Free kick by him.
I forgot where we was talking. I'm talking. Oh, go on.
Welch has put Newcastle takeover apparently in doubt due to links to illegal TV streaming service. Didn't know that.
I didn't know that, but also, I said the moment the takeover was talking, I said it's Newcastle, so it'll probably go wrong. It's like, it's one of them teams where I'll believe a takeover when the deals are signed, because apart from then, if anything was going to go wrong, it would do, because it's Newcastle. I tell you what, this is a lovely run from Antwia J. He's took on 6 players by himself, and he's been took out. But one of them where he's taking players on, but he's going side to side rather than moving forward with the ball. But I tell you what, he is a difference maker on this team when he gets the ball, Antwia J. He really is.
I think for Paderborn, if they can get an early goal early into the second half, you're thinking that it's massive for them. They can kick on, maybe get the win in this game that they need.
They do. This is one, though, it's a bit like the game on the weekend against Werder. They had to pick up wins against these teams in and around them. And especially Union Berlin, who haven't got the most quality. Ritter's standing over the free kick again. We know how the first one went, straight back at him. But it's a little bit closer than where Trimmel had it earlier, so hopefully they can get a head on it, be it either Paderborn or Union Berlin. If it goes in the back of the net, they'll take it. And it's straight into the hands of Gikovic. So, there you go. There you go. What can you expect?
Oh, we have a goal in the Freiburg Berlin game. Actually, no, it's literally just been disallowed, as I said it. It was Luka Bacchio who had scored, but it was... it's been a no-goal for a foul, apparently.
And I tell you what, Freiburg, if we're talking about paying referees, with the amount of disallowed goals Freiburg have managed to have overturned in the last 2 games.
I mean, Wolfsburg would be absolutely kicking themselves, won't they?
Aye, definitely, because not that, to be fair, I think they're okay, but could you imagine if they, like, with 1 loss, they would have dropped out or something like that?
Yeah, like if they missed out on Europa League by 2 points. Muller's done fantastic there, whipped the ball in, it's headed away.
But yeah, it's like, it's one of them at the end of the season where you look back on and you just go, if that had gone differently.
Well, Werder Bremen were in then, and sweeper keeper Neuer came out to head the ball off the pretty much the head of Rashika, who was bearing down on goal.
That has always been Neuer's attributes, hasn't it? He was the originator of the sweeper keeper, really. Or he made it his own anyway. Still getting on in age, and obviously they signed Alexander Nubel of Schalke to replace... Tell you what, that's a position Schalke need to worry about now. Alexander Nubel is going to Bayern Munich.
Oh yeah, because that replacement they got, that Schubert, he is woeful.
He is a woeful. I was gonna try to be polite because I was gonna be the silver lining and the devil's advocate. No, he's crap.
Oh, what a pass that is from Goretzka. Muller tried to take it on the volley, and he just scuffed it. That was an absolutely magnificent pass from Goretzka over the top. Should be 2-0, but Muller's scuffed the volley. Not sure why he's trying to hit it with the left foot when he should just whacked it with his right. And
it's a booking for Vassiliadis for a cynical tackle as Union Berlin were breaking, because Paderborn are pushing men forward because they have to. Vassiliadis and Gadjasula have got to do a lot of running, but I think Gadjasula's on the odd occasion dropping back to centre back. Lots of running from the younger central midfielder. We just tripped the back of the legs to stop the attack in its tracks, and it's worthy of a yellow card. But it's another ball in the box by Trimmel, and we saw what happened last time. It won't be a repeat, or will it? Oh, we've still got... No, it's because it was cleared, but they've still got it on the right-hand side. It's going backwards, though. I don't want to leave because I've got a feeling there is an attack coming. No, it's a free kick to Paderborn, don't bother. That attack is over.
I mean, the opening 8 minutes of this second half, it's been all Bayern Munich. Werder Bremen had that one little break where Neuer came out to head it away. Apart from that, Bayern Munich are literally camped inside. That is a fantastic pass from Kimmich. No, it's not. No, it's not. Never mind. Never mind. Spoke
too soon.
You know, it's one of them where he passes it and it looks like it's going to bounce just before the touchline so someone can keep it in. No, never mind.
Skid off the turf. It was that rain earlier that you spoke about.
Yeah, it's the rain. It's involved in the play all the time, isn't it?
That's why we speak about it so much. We constantly give weather updates because it affects the turf. And Strelly Mamba has picked up the ball here. Oh, he's tapped it round the fullback. It's not a foul. Oh, it is a foul. Bit late on the flag there from the linesman. It is a foul. So Union Berlin have another dangerous free kick.
Oh, what a goal.
Oh, go on.
I think he might be offside, Lewandowski, but that was absolutely fantastic. It's Kimmich over the top to Muller. He is offside. I think he's going to go to VAR just to check it. But it's a fantastic pass from Kimmich. Muller is offside. It's Muller, wide right of the box. He's put it in, and Lewandowski has flicked it home. Do you know, similar to how he did against, I think it was Dusseldorf when he flicked it with his back heel through his legs. He's done that again, and it was a fantastic finish. But it is offside.
And you'll never guess what, that free kick for Paderborn was took by Ritter, and it came to nothing. And please take my free kicks, because he's awful. And I tell you what, just give me 2 minutes. I have spotted a spider.
Oh dear.
I've got to deal with a spider. So you keep the people entertained.
Oh, well, while Kieran fights his spider, Bayern Munich will be crowned champions if this stays as it is. They'll be crowned champions for the 30th time in the Bundesliga era. Ball into the box on my game. It's gone over Osako to Gebre Selassie, who's whipped a ball back stick. Boateng has headed it away. Werder Bremen are coming forward now a bit more. Obviously, they've got to come out and try and get any points. Oof, Alphonso Davies has took one in the chin there. He's down.
He's been KO'd. Spider is sorted.
The spider is sorted. He has been KO'd too.
Yeah, no, I let it bite me just so I might grow webs tonight, just to... But yeah, so Spider is sorted, and I came back, and believe it or not, there has not been a goal.
Oh, to your absolute surprise.
Yeah, to my absolute surprise. I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing changes, because we're getting to the 60th minute now, and nothing has really changed in terms of no real chances for Paderborn.
A few changes, to be fair, from Werder Bremen, but they've not changed anything apart from Vogt coming on for off for Langkamp.
What do you think of this 5 sub thing? Because I've got to admit, I'm quite enjoying it.
I mean, it just means that more players can get on the pitch, really, doesn't it? And it's good for teams chasing a game, I think. Yeah. Because you've got more fresh legs to come on.
Do you know what it is as well? Do you know the fact it can only happen in 3 periods?
Yeah.
It might stop that bit at the end of the game. Do you know where they make 3 subs in added time, but they do them 1 every minute?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually don't. It's a bit. I know it's a strange one, but maybe they do implement something like that going forward. I know managers should have their own discretion as to when they want to make subs, but I'm all for stamping out time wasting. Even though technically it's about controlling the game. But go on, you were saying. My apologies.
I just literally just said me too. I agree. I mean, however, when we're 1-0 up against Man City in the last minute of the game, I am all for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer making 3 subs.
3 subs with 1 minute to go. And Union Berlin have wasted a golden opportunity, because I think they were 4-on-2 there, maybe even 5. It was a great ball in behind, and Hudemeyer was keeping him onside as he attacked down the right-hand side. He had all the choices. It was 5 people that ended up in the box. He chipped it to Ondrić. Probably the wrong option, because he went with a flying karate kick finish. And great block as Paderborn come up the other end. It was a through ball from the centre midfield to Zielinski, who latched onto it, but the centre back followed him all the way. And it's Trimmel, the captain. And as he's about to slot it home, Trimmel slides in and blocks it. He can't just do free kicks, he can defend as well.
I mean, you think in half an hour, Paderborn have got to get 2 goals.
Yeah.
Alphonso Davies has latched onto that, put a ball into the box. It is a corner. Chris Watch has also put a good point for the sub rule that we're talking about. More chance for youngsters with the 5 subs. That is a good point. Yeah. There is a lot more chance for youngsters, as we've seen with Bayern Munich using the likes of Kaison, Xerxes, Batista Meyer off the bench sometimes.
Maybe Phil Foden can get more than 1 minute per 3 games. Maybe. But there is... Oh, it's right. It's one of them, where it's like something's going on in the game. Oh, it's a sub. Right, okay. I thought the ref was running to the VAR stand. No, she's just pointed to subs.
Why is Alaba having a shot from there? He's on the turn and he's trying to have a shot from about 30 yards, and it's been blocked easily. Werder Bremen need to change something because they're getting absolutely demolished here.
He's got it in the locker though, as David Alaba. He's
I think a second goal is coming. Oh, and Lewandowski's just missed it. The glorious chance to see the game off, kill it off. Lovely ball in by Pavard on his right foot. He's onside as well as Lewandowski, and it's not connected with him at all.
I tell you what, I've seen some proper football style here. Basically, there was a collision between two players, and Andrich was on the floor holding his leg until he heard the foul had gone the other way against him, and he shot up to have a go at the ref, and he's right up.
Well, we have our first goal in the Freiburg Hertha Berlin game. Sorry to cut you off there. Vincenzo Grifo has scored. And
it's another one. There is a disallowed goal for the opposition, and Freiburg score.
They love a disallowed goal, don't they?
And also, we talked about them earlier. They're not the most impressive team visually to watch, but they eke out the 1-0s, they eke out the odd goals. And there was a sub for Union Berlin. Bulter is off, and Mies is on.
I mean, that kind of takes Hertha Berlin out. It does take them out. They'll be 7 points behind Freiburg now, who will go up into 7th place above Hoffenheim. A shot comes in from, I think it was Pavard. Yep, that's just bounced off the turf, skidded off the turf, and gone wide.
It's that bloody rain again.
It's the bloody rain again.
But as we said, Hoffenheim, who obviously sacked their manager, it'll be the second game in charge. I don't know his name. For the man in charge at the moment.
Well, interestingly enough, for Werder Bremen, I feel like I need to instruct you with this. They're taking Bittencourt off. And they're bringing... Is he
still pretty fit, though?
Well, he ran off the pitch, so he must be all right. Josh Sargent and Bartels have come on. I'm not sure who else has gone off. I think it was Asako. No, Sargent's come on for Bittencourt. Who's Sargent come on for? Rashika?
No, it's two big boys coming off then.
Dear.
We need Claudio Pizarro on the pitch. But I do think with Bittencourt, I mean, he's had like 30 minutes in the last couple of games, so now he's up to 60. I don't think he's 90-minute ready just yet. Great hunting by Paderborn here. Oh dear. Yeah, that's a bad collision. Basically, there was a ball into the box. Gilskiewicz came out to catch it, but he's catched it over the head of someone else, so he's ran head first into the chest of Gilskiewicz, and he's been wiped clean.
I'm not sure what Rowan is on about in the chat. It's but Icon Griffin, rigged Griffo. Icon Griffo?
Not Icon. Autocorrect is just screwing Rowan over because he's asking what everyone's favourite desk is. Or what? Something about a desk, I don't know.
I like my IKEA ones, mate, to be fair.
I still have an IKEA one, I've not built it yet. But
I think I got mine from Argos.
That's a lovely choice of suit. Lovely choice. Tell you what, I'd go to DFS, they've got a summer sale on, I've heard. Anyway.
And we got the winter sale on as well, all year round.
And the autumn one, yeah. Every month there is a sale at DFS. But I'll tell you what, Draga might have to get a helmet like Gadjasula after this hit, but he does seem all right. He's tapping Gilkiewicz on the leg and making sure he's all right as well. I think both teams will be good. There's a thumbs up from the physio. I think they'll both be fine, but it just looked a nasty. It's one of them that looks nasty, in real time, the way they fall to the ground. But
I mean, the time is ticking for Paderborn at the moment. They will be relegated in around 25 minutes plus added time. Rowan is having a really, really hard time spelling. Lobe some image. Can't be ducking. I can't so well.
I tell you what. I'm not so well either with Paderborn losing. I mean, I'm really sad, but I think you might mean spell.
It's massive because in about half an hour's time, we could be sat here saying that Paderborn are relegated from the Bundesliga.
Yeah. And Bayern Munich were always going to be champions, really. But I mean, to be fair, I say like Paderborn weren't certified to go down. So
it is 1-1 in the Hertha Berlin game. It's Ibisevic who's equalised.
I tell you what, that experience of Ibisevic, he's been very good since returning. I'm not going to lie. I don't know what you think, but I think he's been quite good since.
I watched the first Hertha Berlin game where they beat Hoffenheim 3-0, and he was absolutely fantastic. He doesn't look as slow as he seems to be. I mean, I only think he's slow because of FIFA, but he doesn't look as slow as... Yeah, but he's not as slow as FIFA suggests.
No one ever is, though, is it? Like, Mertesacker can still run, unlike what Thingy used to say.
But no, his experience and his natural finishing element helps her for Berlin. It's good. That's what a lot of teams are missing down at the bottom. Like, you think Werder Bremen haven't got a natural goal scorer. Wolfsburg, to an extent, I know they're not down at the bottom, but they haven't got an out-and-out goal scorer with experience like her for Berlin having Ibisevic.
Yeah. I mean, just on the game I'm watching at the moment, speaking of lack of goal scorers, I'm pretty sure Dennis Sabane is coming on here for Streli Mamba. So Streli Mamba's off, Dennis Sabane. Mamba gives you work rate, maybe not the best technically on the ball, but what they have done is I think they've moved Answi Ajayi to kind of basically pick up the ball in the midfield because he is the most technically gifted player I think they have. So they're allowing him to drop into that midfield and make things happen rather than sit him out on the wing and wait for the ball to get to him. Maybe he's definitely, it's more of either a 3-4-1-2 or a 5-2-1-2 at the moment.
Indeed. Oh, Alphonso Davies is running at Gabby Slassie. He's found Coleman in the box. Back to Davis. That's cleared away. Werder Bremen are literally camped on their own area. And they're trying to break, but there's nowhere for him to go. There's no space, it seems. Bayern Munich obviously so well drilled and well oiled. Obviously,
with taking off Rushika, it's a little bit of pace took off the pitch.
Yeah, definitely. And Bittencourt's obviously got that level of skill. Kingsley Coman is in here. Lovely touch for him to get back on his right foot. That could be a penalty. It's fell to Kimmich onto his left. It swarmed on the edge of the area. They're still coming forward. Pavard puts one low in, and it is a corner. I think they might go to VAR here.
Yeah,
for a potential penalty. I think it was Coman who's gone down. I think they're going to go to VAR. I'm not quite sure.
I'm kind of keeping it with you just in case they do.
Well, the Bayern Munich players are walking away as if it's a goal kick.
Maybe it's been checked, or
I am not so sure. I think it might be a goal kick anyway.
No. So nothing comes of that in the end?
No.
No, but a nice little bit of melee on the edge of the box, but apart from that, no
there. It come back to Kimmich. Yeah, it was a goal kick. It come back to Kimmich on the edge of the box, and there was about 5 players trying to swarm him to get the ball.
It's one of them where when you've got 10 men behind the ball, you can utilise 5 of them to chase it, and just guess that's all right.
Chris,
go on.
What are you saying? Go on.
Oh no, it was nothing important. There's literally nothing going on. I was trying to fill time, to be honest with you.
Chris Watch talking about Timo Werner, his option not to play the rest of, allegedly, not play the rest of Leipzig's Champions League games in August to get his move to Chelsea in July. And he thinks it's disrespectful to Leipzig.
I completely agree. It's the same thing with Lyle Taylor as to why he's not playing for Charlton. I think it is an absolute disgrace. You've been
to
at
say
the
that
team.
Leipzig really made him as well, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. And they adored him for so long, and he was their talisman. And then to go, because the thing is, yes, Leipzig are not likely to win the Champions League. That's fair enough. They're probably not. But they're through. So why don't you just try? To me, that's horrific. But if it's allegedly, then I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he'll do the right thing.
I'm not quite sure. I've seen it on Sky Sports. I've seen it on Bleacher Report. Sorry, I've seen it on BBC. Obviously, Chris Watch just said it to us there. It does seem like he has done that. But I didn't think a player could pull out of a squad. Do you know what I mean? I thought if he's registered, he can't unregister himself. Do you know what I mean?
But I bet it's kind of like for Leipzig, if he doesn't want to play, then he does. Like, it's one of them where he's like, well, I don't want you in my team then. If you're not going to give me 100% for this club, for the badge that you still have on you until the transfer is official, I honestly think that tars him for me a little bit, because I just don't like that sort of thing. I don't know about you, but I just think that's awful.
It'll be interesting now to see if he actually if he starts tomorrow against Dusseldorf. It'll be interesting now. I think he will, because he is their best player.
Yeah.
To be fair.
They also, I think Leipzig is another team that they want. I think they want to get Patrick Schick permanently because he's currently on loan. But yeah. I question them next year in terms of obviously having an out-and-out goal scorer. As good as Schick is,
I mean, they're going to lose a lot of goals out there with Timo Werner. He's got nearly 30 this season, I think.
Yeah, Yusuf Poulsen as well he's not an out-and-out goal scorer.
You think you expect him 30 between Poulsen and Schick, 15 each. It's even a stretch to say that.
Yeah, that's the problem, innit? It's a bit. To me, you're lucky if you get 20, and I'm saying that because I think you'll get 13 from Schick and about 7 from Poulsen. But we'll have to see, because the transfer window is going to be really strange, because no teams have the money that they would have had they had a full season. So, I mean, I don't think we'll see many massive transfers this summer, in my opinion.
No.
Or not as many as we would have seen, I should say.
No, I agree with you.
And Antwi Jay's picked up the ball here, and he's played it wide. I think it's to Holtman, but it's slid away by Trimmel, who is by far and away Union Berlin's best player, Trimmel.
Well, they're running out of time at Paderborn, aren't they?
19 minutes plus added time, but there was that knock on the head, I think it was. And Chris Welch has put Leipzig unlikely to win Champions League, but it's not impossible. And you should still play for your current club. And I agree with that. And also, I agree, like Leipzig, not dark horses for the Champions League, but they'd give anybody a game.
Yeah, definitely.
With their style of play anyway. They are another team, like, they don't sit 10 men behind the ball. They are fearless against whoever they play.
Yeah, and definitely.
Union Berlin are attacking here. Trimmel to the back post. Crossed in. Andrich swipes. Post. Comes back. Miss. Paderborn are holding on by the skin of their teeth to their Bundesliga status because they still need 2 goals. This, I think, also secures Union Berlin's safety. If I'm not wrong, it was a ball by Trimmel, chested really cleverly across, a bit like Julian Brandt the other week, to Andrich, who strikes it with his left, hits the inside of the keeper's left-hand side post, and falls to the man who chested it, who I don't know the name. Oh, it's Ingvartsen, who strikes it with his left, but only to the side netting.
You are correct. Union Berlin would be safe, and also Freiburg are 2-1 up against Hertha Berlin. It is Nils Petersen who has made it 2-1.
So, yet again, Freiburg just seeming ways to win by the looks of it.
They don't win a lot of their games 2 or 3, do they? They always win it by 1.
Yeah. It's one of them. They always seem to be really close in their games, and I don't really know why. And obviously, a massive for Union Berlin, because they were expected to go down. And even with the no fan era, it looked like they were heading that way. I said on record many times that I thought they were going to go. But result against Cologne, result against Schalke, and a win here tonight, and they've managed to turn it around within 3 weeks.
I mean, Werder Bremen have got 15 minutes to try and get anything from this game. Bayern Munich had playing very professionally. They're keeping the ball. They're moving it around well. They're looking for the second, but it's not coming as of yet.
No, just one moment. I'm just getting a beverage, so I will be.
It's no problem. I like looking at Tommy's with sports power.
What's it the cool kids say? I'm AFK, away from keeper.
Yeah, Chris Watts put, I know this is different, but Frankie de Jong, when he was at Ajax last season, Champions League semi-finals, he was moving to Barcelona, he still gave 100% Ajax, despite they unfortunately didn't reach the final.
Well, he also, even when he looked at the results and saw Ajax got eliminated, he was just sad because of, the emotional ties he had. And yes, Werner hasn't been through the academy like Frankie de Jong has at Leipzig, but he spent the majority of his young career there. So it's one of them. I do think. I think players always believe that they don't owe their clubs anything, but I just think that's a very selfish mindset. But that's me.
Oh yeah, definitely. Rowan has put big game for Dusseldorf, which it is a massive game for Dusseldorf. I was playing Leipzig, and if they get anything, they'd probably take it.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean,
we're just speaking on Timo Werner. Do you think he'll play tomorrow?
No, because they don't need to. I think he will. No, sorry, I think he will. But like one of them, if he was to miss a game, I think they could allow him to miss tomorrow. In my opinion.
Yeah. So what were you going to say to me? You said you tell you what, Kieran, and you just stopped because I interrupted you.
No, I'll tell you after the live stream. It's all right. It's nothing important.
Oh no.
There is some subs though. Kai Progger and Anthony Evans, the young Englishman. Kai Progger, my winger, coming on here now. I can't see you for. It looks like Zielinski, who sadly is kind of the man that sent Paderborn down, which is a bit harsh because he plays for Paderborn, but his own goal is detrimental to their game. And Drager, I think, is the other man to come off. So a defender in Drager coming off and a winger in Zielinski.
Well, Neuer's been... Neuer was almost caught out there by, I think it's Eggestein. Luckily, it bounced back off Neuer and went out for a throw-in.
It's one of them when you play sweepkeeper. We saw it with Jan Sommer last week against Bayern Munich. He, it's fair to say, gifted Joshua Zirkzee a goal. And when you're playing that sweeper keeper role, you cannot make a mistake.
Yeah, definitely.
Drager didn't come off. But he's done really well to tap it around the fullback and square it. There's no one in the box. You are losing and you're about to go down. And you've got no one gambling. I can't believe it. But it went all the way out for a throw-in on the other side. It must have come off a Union Berlin player, but that is not. At this point, you've got to, if you're in central midfield, I know it's a lot of hard work, but you've got to get yourself into the box and try and drag your team back into it. Where's Vassiliadis when you need him? It's clear.
I mean, he is your favourite player, after all.
Yeah. And Gentner, the experienced midfielder, is off for Felix Cruz, which, unsurprisingly, he is related to Tony Cruz.
Is he? Oh.
Yeah, I think it's his brother.
But just speaking on Timo Werner again, Chris Watch, but Timo Werner already one of Leipzig's greatest ever players in their history. There'll be no respect for him at the moment if he doesn't play for them in the Champions League this season. Yeah, probably not. I agree with you. We've already said it, haven't we, really? Yeah.
And the thing is, Leipzig hasn't been a club for that long, so they don't have many people that can go down in history.
Yeah, they've only been established since 2009, haven't they?
Yusuf Poulsen, because he's been in all the divisions with him, is the only other one I can think of, because he has been on the whole journey. And Drager snuck in at the back post from an Anthony Evans cross, tried to head it across the box, but Gilkovitz is there at the near post to parry it back for a corner.
Ooh. Oh, red card.
Oh,
red card. Second yellow for Alphonso Davies. He's off.
Oh, wow.
And now this last 10 minutes, it looks very interesting.
Most definitely.
I'm just trying to see what he's actually been sent off for.
You did say it quite shocked. You like, oh, red card. Any update? Or has his internet gone? and he's trying to figure out, right, because he's not replying, I'm going to gamble that the internet has gone, and I'll try and pick this up where it's gone. So, from what I'm hearing,
hang on.
He's in twice.
Well, it bloody happened again. Alphonso Davies got red carded.
But what for?
Right, so do you know, like, someone did a 1-2 against him, and he's turned to run, and as he's turned, a player has run into him, so he's obstructed their run, and he's got a second yellow for that. It's harsh. It's very harsh.
It's one of them. Was it not intentional yet?
Oh, no, it was never intentional at all.
It's one of them, though. I tell you what, Werder Bremen might as well go for it now. It's a 10-man Bayern Munich. And they can, obviously, as much as I don't think, because there's 10 minutes to go, I don't think Paderborn are getting back into this one. But, you know, if Werder can win here today, they go up, I think, maybe level on points with Mainz.
I will just check that. Werder Bremen will be level on points with Mainz. They won't be above them because of God. If they won by 6, they'd be above them. But somehow I can't see that happening.
No. Union Berlin very much playing keep ball at the moment against Paderborn, and they have gone to 3 at the back. Have Paderborn?
Well, Kingsley Coman just skimmed him. What a save by Pavlenka! That would have been a magnificent goal. It was a ball over the top. Kingsley Coman's latched onto it. It's Velkovic, I think, who's defended it quite well. He got skimmed twice. So I didn't mean to say well. I meant to say bad. He got skimmed twice by Coman. The shot from Coman it's straight at Pavlenka, but it is a good save with his feet. Gnabry is also coming off for Bayern Munich as well. Interesting to see who's coming on here.
I was going to say they're bringing on another defender, maybe, just to try.
Yeah, Theo Hernandez. Lucas Hernandez has come on.
Yeah. Oh, it was another attempt by Paderborn. Great switcher player to Dragru, putting a low cross. He's crossed it again, but it's in the hands of Gilkovic. Time is running out massively, and Paderborn's manager is rightly so very angry. You say, I think that's come on. That was quite English for a German, that was. But you can see he's very frustrated because, oh my God, that was a flash of thunder. I don't know if you can see because I'm currently getting darker by the minute. Because
you are getting darker by the minute.
The lighting, the natural lighting.
Another chance for Bayern Munich. It was whipped in again by Coman. I don't know what's happened to him in the last 5 minutes, but he's got a burst of pace again to him. Puts a lovely ball in for the box, and Lewandowski just missed times his slide to slide it in.
Drager again, he's been out of the heart of everything good for Paderborn. His cross reaches no one, and Vassiliadis with a poor ball into the box. That's not like him. He's a great, talented midfielder. Yeah, but that's sadly. 8 minutes to go. I'm going to go put the light on because head in hands for one of the Paderborn's substitutes. I think he knows that this is it now. I'm just going to go put light on because you can't see me.
Kimmich has played it to Muller. He's headed it back for Lewandowski. He's touched it down for Coman. Tried to get it back to Lewandowski, and it is cleared off the head of Lewandowski by Pavlenka.
And there we go.
And he's looking a bit lighter now.
Thank you. Are Werder looking like they've got a foothold because of the 10 men, or because still Bayern with 10 men still quite fearful?
I mean, I wouldn't say a foothold, but they're going forward a little bit more.
No, I mean, I guess it takes the shackles off really for Werder Bremen because now they can go forward because they've got that extra man.
Andrew Friedel has just put a ball to back post, and I don't know why Bartels went for the header, not looking at the ball, but he did, and he's absolutely injured. Lucas Hernandez, I think. He was down injured. He was just come on. I
worry because Lucas Hernandez has had a massive, lengthy injury problem.
Well, he has. What's happened is Bartels has he's collided with his back, I think.
Antwi Ajayi's back on the left, gives it to Vassiliadis, who strikes it, and it's wide.
Fulkrug's come on for Klassen.
Scored on the weekend, obviously, after returning from his injury. So they bring. Oh, does that mean no Claudio Pizarro?
I mean, they've still got 2 subs left. 1 sub left.
Get him on.
And thankfully enough, Theo Hernandez. I keep calling him Theo Hernandez. Lucas Hernandez is back up.
Good. I'm glad he's one of them players where, do you know, once they go down, everyone's just praying. You'll get this, like, do you know when Edge goes down and everyone's like, please don't be your neck, please don't be your neck.
Yeah. Or Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, exactly. It's very much that with Lucas Hernandez. You're just like, please don't hurt yourself, please. But do you know what? Young Terrell from Hull. Every time he goes down, I'm fearful that he's hurt himself. Nice close control by Sabani, giving it out to Kai Progger. But he's backwards. You can't be going backwards, lads. I don't think that's a foul. That's been given as a foul. It's very harsh against Kai Progger. He's tapped it around the defender, and the defender's gone in front of him, and they just tangled legs, but I don't think it was his fault.
5 minutes. Yeah, 5 minutes for Paderborn.
They need 2, which is unlikely.
What? It's full Krug. Oh, he's blown it. There was a chance for 1-1 there. It came into the box. It was Josh Sargent who's absolutely scuffed it, and they're coming again at Werder Bremen. Lewandowski kicked ball away, but there were shouts for a handball. I think they're going to wait till the ball goes out of play to check it. It's just in Bayern Munich's half at the moment. It's whipped over to left for Friedel, who's not going to get to that. Are they going to check that handball now? I think they are. The referee's saying that he had his hands by his side. It's Josh Sargent who hits it. Nah, it's hit his stomach. It's not handball.
Oh, I was going to say that could have been, even though Paderborn are losing, it might have been took out of their hands anyway. I think it still is. I think it still is because I don't see them coming back. There was a head injury, so maybe we'll have 5 minutes added on. So I'd like to say 10 minutes left in this game. It's close to being over.
Is the dream over?
It's close. Velveteen Dream has not debuted in the Paderborn game. That is one dream that has not turned up.
I titled this Paderborn's Great Escape, and it's the most anticlimactic Great Escape ever.
Oh, did you actually?
Yeah.
Sorry. Well, Josh promised me goals. He promised me 6-0. Load of crap. It's 1-0 to Union. It's one of them. It's eking out. Paderborn's manager has been nothing short of, trying to fire his players up. Nothing thought of enthusiastic, but they were fighting an uphill battle, and an own goal might be the thing to send them down, which is very, very sad.
Well, Rowan has put, if only they signed Big Ridley, and he spelled Ridley wrong. But I agree, Rowan. If they signed Ridley Baku, they'd be up. I
know. Ridley Baku and Vasily Honigstein in midfield. What a pairing.
Wow, that'd be magnificent. Imagine long shots they'd score.
Well, not many, because I just saw Vasily Honigstein take one. It drifted well wide. But there's 3 minutes to go now, and it's fair to say Union Berlin are in no rush. I think Anthony Uja is coming on for Seb Anderson, and that is correct.
Lewandowski's just been fouled on the counter-attack for Bayern Munich. It's a yellow card for, I think it's Langkamp. It is Langkamp. He's absolutely wiped him out into the advertising board. And big Claudio Pizarro's coming on.
Yes.
I think it's they've took Velkovic off, so they're going 3 up top.
Probably, yeah. Anthony Uja and Schmeiderbach has come on. Andrich, who's hit the post earlier in the first half, has been replaced. And obviously Seb Anderson, who's not really done much today. Even though... Oh, Vasiliadis has closed someone down very well. No, I think it's Kai Progger. Great footwork. There's no one in the box, though. You're going down, Paderborn. Vasiliadis, though, has nicked it. And it's cleared for a throw-in. This is what they needed. They've got the work rate, but there's only a minute and a half to go with normal time. And I just struggle to see.
Spewing out of Kieran L right now.
Yeah, it's infuriating. And this will... I'm glad we don't do live streams when all are playing, because I'm much worse than this. It's the captain Hunemeyer, who obviously got the captain's armband from Strodiek, who was replaced early on. They're passing it round the back 3.
Oh no.
And Antwi Ajayi has gone for a Ronaldo chop pass. And it's led to a counter-attack. This is squared to Anthony Uja into the hands of Zingale. It's high-paced stuff here. It really is.
I mean, Werder Bremen are coming forward. The ball into the box. Josh Sargent's flicked it on. What a save by Neuer. It's still not cleared. It's come to Fulkrug. Sargent again. Shot by Langkamp, which flies over.
And that's why he's back.
And I mean, Neuer and Alaba have just bumped chests.
Because that secures the title pretty much. And Drager, he's been in that place in the box on the right-hand side so many times, attacking from a right wing-back position. But his cross has hit the side net, and it's so poor. And we're going into added time, and I think if it wasn't over already, it is now.
What a save that is by Neuer, by the way. It's one of them. It's one of them flicked-on headers that are so hard to save. Oh, hang on, what's happening here? I think the managers are having a go. Well, the Werder Bremen manager's definitely having a go. Yeah, they are having a go. It's just telling them to calm down.
So 4 minutes added on. I think that's a bit harsh because Drager spent a lot of time on the floor earlier. Maybe. Yes.
Well, we are into added time, but there's no indicator of how much added time we've actually got.
Oh, it's on, honestly. I don't know if you can see the lighting on stream, but honestly.
Ever since... Oh, I heard that. Ever since Alphonso Davies has come off there, Bremen are going down that Bayern left-hand side, and they are absolutely battering Lucas Hernandez.
Oh.
Is it over?
No, Anthony Evans, he bundles like a horse, but he's got the close control of a horse as well. Because, forget it, I can't describe it, boys, can't describe it. I'm just so sad.
The emotion's getting too much. It's a sad day.
Aye. Honestly, the rain outside just reflects my feelings tonight.
Well, we're into added time. We're a minute into added time, and I still don't know how much added time there is because there's been no indicator or anything.
There's no BT's not showing you.
No, there's no indicator of how many minutes there are. There's no +4, +3, plus. There we are. +4 comes up a minute and a half into added time. Thank you, BT. Quick as always.
It seems to be that what we predicted was going to happen will happen today. Even though, no, that's not going to reach anything, is it? Oh, it's a corner for Paderborn. With 2 minutes to go.
Oh, they need a goal now.
They do. Anthony Evans is coming over to take it. If they don't score from this, I'm giving up. I'm giving up. But this is, even though there's only 2 minutes after this, but the keeper's up. I've just spotted Zingale. A rare Zingale is in the box, and they're passing it back. It's into the box. Oh, that is a shocking header from Hunemeyer. It's over the bar. A minute and a half to go in this one, and Bundesliga champions are looking to be Bayern Munich, and Bundesliga 2 were looking to be joined by Paderborn. Because
Lewandowski's in the box here. Oh, he's miscontrolled. It's a corner.
Oh, the Thunder.
It is absolutely mesmerising, that Thunder.
Never heard you describe it as mesmerising.
Chris Loss put 10 send in here. Yeah, 2 0-0 games, which have been very, very cagey.
1-0?
I meant to say 1-0. Why did I say 0-0?
Oh, Zingale is up again. It's honestly, get him up again. A draw is not enough. And there is only 40 seconds. So even if they score here, I doubt they're getting another. Anthony Evans, that is the worst ball into the box I've ever seen.
Oh, no. It's over for Paderborn.
Straight into the hands of Gikiewicz, who falls on the ground because Union Berlin are safe, which is very impressive from this outfit, who at the start of the season will have been with Paderborn in the bookies' favourites to go down.
Well, Bayern Munich for the last minute and a half have won 3 corners, and they just keep it in the corner, winning a corner, keep it in the corner, winning a corner. There's
Yeah,
now 5 seconds left. They're going to play this short, and they will be crowned Bundesliga champions.
yeah. And there's a throw-in for Union Berlin, and they will be crowned as Bundesliga staying-uppers.
Staying-uppers. Love
Yeah.
that.
Oh, it's into the box. Anthony Uja to finish it. Oh, he let it run to the winger who striked it off Jamalu Collins. But Union Berlin are finishing this game, and they could have had a goal. Another goal. They have already got one. It was Ingvartsen who struck it with his left foot. I think Anthony Uja could have gone with it if he had a bit of a striker's instinct, but Collins with a nice one.
It is over. Bayern Munich are the 30 times champions of the Bundesliga. They thoroughly deserved it. Professional performance from today. Muller and Lewandowski are absolutely loving that. Hansi Flick's loving it. All the backroom staff are loving it. They're getting a bit too close. They're 2 meters, please.
It is over.
Oh,
Union
no.
Berlin are surviving in the Bundesliga for another season. Credit to them and the staff and the players. A really professional job from them today, and a professional job throughout the season for a squad that would not have been hyped to stay up. They have done very, very well. And sadly, we will be saying goodbye. The Great Escape is not possible for Paderborn, who say goodbye to their Bundesliga status today, which is very sad. But I think it's concluded probably in the Freiburg game as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll just check that for you. Yeah, it finished 2-1 to Freiburg.
So if we review the fixtures, there was a 2-1 win for Freiburg. What's your opinion on that, Kieran? We didn't watch the game, but obviously a disallowed goal for Hertha Berlin. And their form, not quite where it was when they were the most on-form team in the Bundesliga. Not anymore.
Oh, they've kind of fell off a bit, haven't they? 3 losses in the last 3 games. We talked about Freiburg. They always seem to win by a goal somehow each time, even though they're not the most distinctive and entertaining to watch. They always seem to get the W. Hertha Berlin now mathematically can't get into the Europa League. And Rowan's put at least the fee for SBC will be cheaper next year. Oh, that funder's not loving that, is it?
No. It's a bit stormy. Sorry, I'm distracted by the storm.
What do you think?
For Freiburg, I'm amazed that they keep picking up wins, because on paper they're just not the most inspiring team, are they? But they seem to be more than worth their position in the Bundesliga. And I won't be surprised if there's not many teams that can catch them now. Hoffenheim are one of them that could possibly still sneak in, but I think they may very well have secured their European spot and thoroughly deserved. Hertha Berlin, though, I wouldn't say warning signs or anything, because they were in a lot worse position before the break, before the January transfer window, where they were horrific. So I think they can really kick on next year, but this year they can take positives from the restart, but as we say, the form is not quite where it was. Bayern Munich have been crowned the champions of the Bundesliga. What was your review of that game, Kieran?
Yeah, it was a very professional performance from Bayern Munich. They kind of dominated the game, even though it was only a 1-0. Some people say underwhelming, but they've got the job done. They are now 8 times straight champions of the Bundesliga, and they've got their shirts out that say 8 times straight. They're absolutely loving that. Yeah.
So anything for Werder, because they're still in trouble, of course. It's not over for Werder Bremen, as much as Bayern can probably play their youngsters coming forward because they've already got the title. Werder Bremen cannot.
What it means for Werder Bremen now is if that Fortuna and Mainz pick up any points tomorrow, I know it's unlikely, they're going to be at a real disadvantage, especially if Mainz pick up something against Dortmund. That means that they'll be 4 points ahead of Werder Bremen going into those 2 games where Werder Bremen play Mainz on the weekend. And Dusseldorf level on points with Werder Bremen, by separated by 2 goals it is now. Obviously, Dusseldorf play Leipzig tomorrow.
It wasn't a missed opportunity tonight. I don't think they would have thought they were going to pick up any points. But when they went down to 10 men, maybe it was a little too late for them to really have an impact on the game. If that had happened in the first half, I think they could have gone hell for leather in the second, maybe picked up a point and put the pressure on the other teams around them. Luckily, Leipzig played Dusseldorf, Dortmund played Mainz. They may not have to worry as much tomorrow, but we may see a shock, of course. And then, finally, sad news around the world today as Union Berlin have defeated Paderborn 1-0 to a Zielinski own goal, and that means it is mathematically impossible for Paderborn to stay up. Wow. And it is also mathematically impossible for Union Berlin to go down. So overall, I think Union Berlin have done a professional job throughout the year. And yet again, Paderborn, they just can't score. It's that simple as they just don't have anything going forward. They never really had a chance. Like in other games when I've watched them previously, even against Leipzig, and even in the games before that where they picked up 1-1 draws, I think one of them might have been against Hoffenheim. They've had chances, but in this one it was very a hopeless performance, I would say, even though I do love me some Paderborn. So I think, is there anything else you want to say, Kieran, or does that conclude your thoughts on today?
I think that's all we've got to say, really. We've spoken about a lot today. We've obviously had two underwhelming fixtures in terms of goals, and we probably expected more from the two teams that arguably needed to win the most. But
Yeah.
I've had fun.
Yep, no, we always have fun on these watch-alongs. I've got bloody storm outside. You know, it's all coming up, Kieran. Both Kierans, thank you. And that concludes today. Obviously, congratulations to Bayern Munich, the 8-time champion. But that is not all we do on the Sports Corner channel. Believe it or not, there is more than just us two, even though one time it might just be one of us because everyone else is just gone. On a Tuesday, we have the Wrestling Corner. Today is a Tuesday, so you can go check that out. It is on the channel. Rowan and Simon would have talked about this week's Backlash and maybe some of the backlash from that show. Thank you. On a Wednesday, we've got the Top Corner, where we will be talking about the return of the Premier League, I'm sure, the Coppa Italia final, I'm sure. I don't actually know the final rundown, so if none of them get talked about, I do apologise. And obviously, we've got some more to talk about tomorrow in terms of European football. On Thursday, it's the NFL Corner. It is the conclusion of the division previews as we finish with the AFC West this week. And then we will have more blue sky kind of fun content, maybe some tier lists or some YouTube-y stuff, rankings and all that. And then also throughout June and into July, over on the Twitch channel, on twitch.tv/the Top Corner, it is the Euros virtual play along on PES with 24 real life players and a charity spot competing for a cash prize. So who can win the Euros? Because we don't get the Euros sadly due to COVID, but we can have our own virtual one. Kieran, how did your first week go in
Don't bring it up. I don't want to talk about
it. That's the only reason I brought it up. It's the only reason I mentioned it.
That's awful. No, I scored the same amount of goals as you.
Yeah, which is 0 because 0-0 draws are all the shebang. Obviously, I play tomorrow, so do check that out. It's 3 p.m. every day on Twitch. And also, check out The Athletic. Links in the description. 7-day free trial, 50% off, and no bloody ads. But that is all from me. Thank you very much, Kieran, for joining us for this Bundesliga Watchalong.
Everyone stay safe. Thank you very much.
Lovely way to end. So that'll be all from us. Goodbye.
Bye.